This conference will now be recorded.
No, you're not there, wait, just Lance is coming. You ready, Ricardo?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to the City Council Budget Workshop for Monday, August 24th, 2026. Ricardo, may I have the roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. President. Jody Wilkinson. Lance Smith.
Here.
Kenneth Burgess.
Here.
Stephen Spina.
Here.
Charles Proctor.
Here.
Mayor Munson.
Here.
William Poe.
Here.
Matthew Maggard.
Thank you. Okay, we have as we're continuing the budget process, there were some issues we discussed at our last meeting. Mr. City Manager, do you want to take over?
Yes, sir. So I will note that Councilwoman Wilkinson is upstairs. Not sure she's in the building. I know she's not here, but all right. So the items that we had left from last meeting, discussion of pay increases. There was a question on the impact from 5% to 6%. There was a added tree mitigation budget, the carryover to cover the planning department and the city engineer position. And then the fourth, it'll close on its own, sir. And then item that's not on here was discussed was the marketing and marketing publicity budget line item. So the question of, if we move right into the pay increase, as you see here, this is from Garing Group, and the total impact of a 5% COLA and then the salary study, the impact to the city budget is $734,659. And you can see the breakdown there is 19 employees that are below the minimum. Go to new pay ranges, cost of $23,000. The 57 employees receive compression at just under $142,000. And then there was 70 employees impacted by the study, or excuse me. And then the COLA would be the 387 with an average employee increase of 5.94. If we do a 6%, the impact of that is would be $812,719. 16 employees be below the minimum, the new pay ranges. That impact would be $16,165. There'd be 46 employees that receive compression at a total of just under $134,000. There's 58 employees impacted by the study, and then the COLA, the cost of the COLA would be $456,379 with an average employee increase of 6.5%.
Okay. I do have a question. You know, City Council's never approved the salary survey. So are we going to do that at some point?
On July 13th, council did accept.
We reviewed it. I don't think we voted to accept it.
You did.
We did?
Yeah. I believe it was Councilman Smith made the recommendation, and sorry. Don't have it in front of me. Ricardo did print it for me. But it was seconded, or motion seconded and unanimously approved to accept that study.
12th?
July 13th.
All right, so with the salary survey at 5%, the employees would basically, the average rate would be 5.9% increase.
Oh, you got it. Sorry.
And then,
Sorry. Yes. And then if we did 6%, the
it would be
average would,
6.5%
Correct.
increase.
What was the 5 again? I'm sorry. That's about 6% average.
on average. Yes, sir.
That's the two combined. It's a combination of the pay
Five.
study and,
Correct. So we would implement the COLA first, and then the pay study would stack on top of that. So added together, it would be roughly a 5.9, or average increase would be 5.94%.
and that's 734,000 to implement.
Correct. Yes, sir.
And that's in the draft or no? What's in the draft?
The draft actually shows the 6%. There was 5% when we originally gave it to council. And then we went through the exercise to show the 6 in the budget that's attached for this evening.
So the current budget has a 6%. So the average rate there would be 6.5%.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Does the extra, the total cost, does that include FRS, everything, or is it just salaries?
That is everything. Yep. FRS, FICA, FRS, and salary.
FRS is included in this? Wow. And then what did you do with the marketing and publicity funds?
We haven't done anything with that yet.
You budgeted $220,000 for that?
We budgeted 220 for that. So last year we had 200,000 in it. We budgeted to 220 this year because of the city hosting the Ridge League of Cities. We have spent roughly $55,000 out of there this year. The intent was to spend those dollars on like musically, well, obviously marketing and publicity of the city, yeah. And then the intent was to use those dollars to try to bring in some musical acts to Founder's Day and then some of the other like small festivals and things. Obviously that did not happen.
But I had a question about that. Why is the city paying for that? Why wouldn't Main Street the board fundraise and pay for music at their festival? Founder's Day is a Main Street event.
Yeah, I think it was a partnership of the city trying to bring people in and bringing people to our downtown. So I don't disagree with you that it's a Main Street event. But it was a way for us to try to just partner in that and make it a bigger event than what it is or was.
Back on the raises. I know I would love to be able to give them as much as we can, but I'm telling you, there's going to be a reckoning next year if this Amendment 3 goes through. I mean, I would almost rather give a bonus this year than the ongoing expense. I mean, because I ran some figures and it's a little scary, honestly. It really is. I mean, I sent you these. I think realistically, we're looking at having to raise the millage rate above 8% to make everything balance out next year. I believe we'll be well above it, honestly.
Well, let me just, because I did see that. I had a chance to go all the way through it. But remember that we have a 10 mil cap. And the county, we have a fire rescue MSTU that's 2.5 mils, I think.
So what does that leave us then?
That leaves us 7.5 that we can go
You can't
to.
even go up to it.
Yeah.
You won't even be able to go up to it.
No, so really, I mean, I'm dead serious. If we were flat this year with our property tax increase, for the most part, there was no increase. I think what happened is there was a decrease, to be honest with you, because anything that was added on was more than we had last year. So if we have 2 years of decrease, that gap starts widening even more. And we can take $10 million forward, but that's still not going to be enough. That's my opinion. So that's why I'm very scared on putting a continuing expense in of any kind.
Well, the other thing to think about too is going forward with with this property tax looming is that there'll be absolutely no incentive for us to annex any residential property because we won't make any revenue
That's
off it.
exactly
That wouldn't
right.
even cover
Correct.
the basic fire not fire, but police protection or some code enforcement, some of those needs. So I think that you'll see, what we tried to do with the moratorium will happen organically just
Yeah.
because you won't be able to afford it. If you would, I'll tell you what, maybe we could compromise this year and go to 5.5%. And then take 100,000 out of that marketing money and to cover that for this year. And, I would be for something like that. Carter, would you note that Councilwoman Wilkerson did come back? That's him.
At 4:11 PM. Yes.
Okay, thank you. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I would love to give as much as we can, and I agree with what Councilman Smith is saying. The writing's on the wall, that is going to probably pass, there's no doubt about it. It is going to make it difficult. I would love to stick to the 6% if we could, but I also understand both sides, so.
Well,
Well, that's my biggest concern too, is recurring costs. It's not just, like you said, with somewhere we could get the money to make up the difference for this year, but that doesn't help us in any subsequent years. Maybe a combination of a raise and a bonus, where you get some raise and some of it is bonus. Like when I was with the school board during the lean times in the 2000s there, that's what was happening to us. We got 0 raises for 6 straight years. It was all bonus. But if we could, figure out a way to do a combo or something where there's still an increase that compounds, as you want to say, I guess, and a bonus to make up the difference or whatever. That's just a thought I'm just throwing out there.
well, if the difference between 5% and 6%, $78,000.
Correct.
So if you take the 100,000, maybe you'd have 178,000 for bonuses. I don't know what that would equal. How many employees do you have? How many employees are there now? 190?
Well, if you went with the 6% increase, you wouldn't need to do the bonuses then.
No, I'm saying if you
I thought
don't, if you do the 5%, and
Well, so,
So the question would be if you get, on the bonus portion, would be if you're getting more than whatever the COLA is, do you still get the bonus?
Yeah.
And that would be, I'm asking that question because that's part of what we need to figure out.
May I ask a question? It says with 6%. Oh, sorry. The slide up there says with 6% COLA, but the COLA is actually, it's what it is, right? So it might only be 3.5%.
No, so the way it was set up through the study was, let me go back a slide. So there's 5%, and that's what the impact to the budget would be, or 6%. The 5% or 6% would be given first, and then anybody who is slated based on the salary study to receive more than that would receive whatever that total amount is. So if an employee was based on compression and those other factors was scheduled to get 7.5%, they would get the 6% first and then that additional 1.5%. And what that does is by giving the COLA first, that lessens the impact of the salary study. But yeah, the COLA would be given first.
I wouldn't take the bonus away from the people getting the COLA. I mean, the pay study increase, because then you're kind of defeating the purpose of getting them up where everybody else is, even if it's a one-time thing.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm making $20 an hour, just to make it easy, and I should be making $22 an hour. So with the study, you raise me up to $22 an hour, and then everybody who's already set gets $900 bonus, and I don't.
Yeah.
Then I don't think that's right.
Right.
The salary survey was to make sure everybody's in line with the region and what the salaries are, the positions are valued at. All right, I would say either we have option A, which we could reduce the pay rate to 5.5% plus the salary survey. Or we could leave it at 5% and get a bonus. And the bonus would be about $900 and some each, if you use the whole amount of what you save between going to the lower rate and the money from the marketing. 'Cause that's $178,000. That's a pretty good bonus. I mean, you don't have to use it all, I guess, but
Yeah.
you'd have $178,000 to play with. If you're at 5%.
I would just have to double check some of that math. I think I understanding that you wanted to get to 5% with a bonus rather than going to 6%. And whatever the city was going to spend on getting to 6%, allocate that to a bonus.
Well, I was going to, yeah, that was about $78,000. But I was going to suggest if you cut money from, for this year, if you cut money from the marketing, we can go to the 6%. But there's concern about the continuing use of that. I mean, continuing impact of that, because next year you're going to be at that rate. So I was saying then maybe a compromise would be go to 5.5% and between 5 and 6 and, come out that way, or stay at 5 and give the bonus. But I'd like to see us cut the marketing account. I don't think we need $220,000.
I'd gladly give up,
Huh?
I'd gladly give up 100,000 in marketing for an extra % of pay for
Well,
the
I know you
employees.
will, but I mean, I don't think we need $220,000 in marketing. And I don't think we need to pump money into vans on Main Street. But what does that board do? What does the Main Street board do?
I have to ask,
Let them
yeah, they'll
fundraise
have to come tell you that.
themselves. So.
Well, with
Anybody
me,
else?
I was just stuck on that 6%. I wanted more, but I mean, I
How
was
much do you
willing to
give your
compromise.
employees? Are your shop guys getting 7% this year?
I'd have to sit down and figure it out, but no, they're not probably going to get 7%, but they get a raise every year. And I only have 2 employees, so it's a lot easier for me to give a little bit better raise and. But that's just me. I mean, wouldn't it be cheaper, Ted, would it be cheaper to do the 6% or the 5.5 and then give a bonus?
I would have to go back and do the math. What I was trying to see is a consensus, because if we do 6%, which we have put into the draft, and you say, go ahead and bring it back to 5.5% and give a bonus, we're just going to have to roll back part of that and make it a bonus.
Yeah, I think the answer to that question is it all depends on what bonus we give, right? So if we're saying to go to 6% is 70,000, and then, but we're going to roll that back to 5.5%, but then use 178 and give all of that for bonuses.
Well, you won't
Quick-
have 178 if you go to 5.5%. You'll only have, you'll have 130 something. or
Right,
40.
but I think the math wise is you take that 100 out, if you're giving that all as bonuses, that would be more than the 78. So it all depends on what dollar amount you're giving as a bonus. If it adds up to be more than the percentage, the issue is the ongoing cost. The bonus is this year and it does not continue. And it's not compounding. Next, the interest is ongoing and compounding.
Well, I just threw the 5.5 out there as a compromise between 5 and 6. And then if you give a bonus in addition to that, I think it comes out pretty good. And if you get $700, $750 bonus at Christmas time or something, that's not bad. I don't know.
Well, and we found that the actual COLA was only 3.5%. And so we did a merit raise of 2.5%. So that's what my employees got this year. So it was a combination of COLA and a merit raise.
Well, he's using COLA as a,
I know, as a
Just
phrase, but that's
increase.
what I'm going to say is that, if we're really looking at, if we're using the phrase COLA, it's a real science, it's a real number. It's a number that's generated based on data.
Yeah,
And then-
we should just say
He's
pay
just-
increase.
he's
Right,
just proposing a 6% pay increase.
right.
And we don't do merit raises either.
Mhm.
So we could do a COLA and then just a pay increase to add that, whenever that would be, but.
Well, that's kind of,
it
and the
equals
bonus
same
works that
thing,
way.
so.
So if we're concerned about future years, which we are, let's keep that
We have to
in
be.
our mind, then I think logically, we should do 5% and give a bonus. And they're still getting this amount, same amount as what they would have gotten, but it gives us this next year to catch a breath and see what's really going to happen.
And
And
the average employee increase with 5% is 5.9, which
is
is,
6% is anyways.
but how many,
basically.
how many would get that?
That's what we're trying, I
That was
can't.
based on the survey, right, which is
That's the
about
survey.
30%. It was a significant number of employees.
So this shows that 19 employees are below the minimum pay range. By the time you add COLA and all that, there's 70 employees that are impacted by the study.
That was almost 30%, as I recall.
Okay, Lance?
I would support 5% plus some type of bonus. The other question is, we also have to pay the FICA on the bonus. So it nets out not necessarily to what we're thinking, right?
Yes, well, taxes
employee
will
pays
come
it.
out. That's
Yeah.
correct.
So I mean, we give a 900, what is it, at least 15%, and then whatever the withholding is. So
I don't think it's going to be $900 if I'm following everything correctly. If the direction is 5%, then whatever we have in the draft budget as of this meeting, let's say, work that in as a bonus.
It's $78,000 divided by 190.
Thank you.
Right, but I'm
Well,
throwing
we
in
gotta-
some of the marketing money as well.
So
You wanna
before-
throw
I was gonna, what my argument was that if we went with 6%, we could pay for it this year with the marketing money. That would cover that increase. And I'd rather see it go in employee pockets than sit in an account, or I don't think we need that much money for marketing. So that would be this year. The concern though is not just this year, but it's next year.
Correct.
So, I mean, that's the difference, but the marketing money would be added in, and you don't have to use all of it, but you would have extra money to play with if you take 100 grand out of the marketing, and then you have 78 now.
Right now, we are balanced at 6% and with the marketing budget at $220,000.
Right. So if you make it 5%, you have $78,000
Yes, sir.
roughly. And then if you take 100 grand out of marketing, you have $178,000.
Yes, sir. I'm following you right now.
So that could be used for marketing and/or,
So I would just want to make sure that we ask whoever's developed the marketing budget, what it's based on, before we just arbitrarily say $100,000.
just told us what it's based on.
Okay,
We had
maybe I missed that,
200,000 in
sorry.
the,
Believe-
we weren't here. We spent
About 55.
$50,000 this year.
Okay, good
And they
point.
had
Then
200,000.
I just know that, like, for example, for the PIO, that some of that money, particularly also for the fire, for the police department, some of that money was education essentially.
That's in their budget separately.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
Police
stuff. I mean, we pull out, like if we buy little wristbands or shirts or business cards, those types of things, that all comes out of there.
Then I think that's a great idea.
Advertising, but-
I support Dr. Spina's suggestion then. Sorry, I missed that part.
I mean, that's a lot of money for marketing that,
Are you saying by doing that, giving the full 6 or?
no, I'm saying giving a better bonus.
Do you think, Steve, were you like 5 plus 178?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the 1.7, I'm not going to do the math here and make a promise, but
Well, let's look, because we need to verify the numbers too, because not every position's filled. So before we start throwing out exactly what a bonus is going to be, we need to do the math.
yeah, I mean, I can't tell you what it is right now, but there's enough money there to give a decent bonus.
Can I ask a question? It's sort of on the same line, but how many new positions are we proposing this year?
Three positions.
And where are they needed? You know?
Park, sanitation, and facilities.
Plus, are you counting
Oh,
the
I
2
agree.
for drainage?
I'm not
I
following.
don't believe there's new positions for drainage.
That's future years?
That's future
Okay,
years, yeah.
because the drainage fee is going to pay for 2 new employees.
Oh, yeah,
That's
no,
correct.
sorry. This
That's
year,
not in this year?
that's not in this year. This year is parks, fleet, and sanitation. Yeah. With those, and Public Works Director might shoot me, but we can always play with those and say, okay, they're not going to start till January 1 instead of October 1. So you buy, 9 months worth of, or 3 months worth of salary for 3 employees.
And if you have 190 employees now, how many positions are vacant?
15? Don't hold me to it. Rough number, 15? Less than that.
Okay, so that would say bonus money if you don't have
Mhm.
anybody there. I mean, you still, I think, isn't. I don't know. Kenny, are you all right with 5%?
Yeah,
bonus,
5%
or
and a bonus.
Is anybody
I
okay
think it
with
kind of
that?
solves a lot of problems.
5.5 and a bonus, or just go 5?
I'm for 5.
5 is going to be an average of 5.9 anyways, right?
Okay.
For our math people then, so it's 5%. The marketing budget would go down by 100,000.
I got you,
700
Ted.
plus the 78,000 is going to be spent on bonuses. We want those distributed.
When would we know how much of a bonus we would be giving?
Well, we would know by the next budget meeting. I mean, next meeting, we're going to have a public hearing, so we'd have to know before then.
Correct. Yeah, our next meeting, unless there's another workshop, would be September 14th, which is the first reading of the budget and final reading of the millage. So, I mean, we need to have it, we'll have it set for that meeting. But we can do the math and send it to you before that, because I think we have actually 3 weeks. We have an extra week this time. So.
All right, thanks. Is everybody okay with the 100,000?
And we were
also?
saying that's a December, kind of do it as a Christmas type
I
bonus.
would.
Yeah.
Would that be good? Employees, somebody?
Could
Yeah.
wait next year.
Okay, the other thing, okay, the engineering position. you
Yeah,
have on
well,
there?
can we just go to this? So tree mitigation, just because this one's short. There's $200,000 in the tree mitigation fund that was not showing as an expense. But I know there's been conversations about tree plantings along the trail around along some ponds. So there's $200,000 that was added into the budget, taken out of tree mitigation funds and put into the budget to be expended this year. So I just wanted to make note of that. The next is the engineering position. This is a estimated breakdown of salary, estimated to be about 123. You got the FICA, the MEDI, the FRS, group health will range anywhere from, if it's the individual takes employee only healthcare, be $12,000. If they take a family plan, it's about $39,000. So expense would be between 159 and 185.
The family plan is $39,000.
That's the city's expense. Mhm. Yep, because we pay 80% of the plan.
And that's not budgeted.
That currently is not budgeted, no.
So then we'd have to come up with another 160 or 70,000.
Correct.
Billy, did you get numbers on when we've hired like engineers, just kind of like on a retainer basis? Did you have that number when we've done it a couple of times, and I know we passed the costs along to the developers, right?
I did.
Yeah, because over the past 4 years, what did we spend $3 million on engineers? More than that?
Thank you.
$8 million in 3 years on engineering. And the engineer of record, we spent 134,000.
Correct. So we've used Craig Corneliuson to serve as the kind of engineer of record. So we've,
It was on an as-needed basis.
correct.
Bust in 2024.
I think that might be. I
Yeah,
have
is
to
that-
go back and look at that one.
Well, that's not right because the total's not right.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and check that one. So what we do with Craig and with some of the Kimley Horn bill is when a developer submits either a traffic review study, traffic analysis, access review, we send that bill, whatever that bill may be, we send it back, we bill the developer for that. So that's, I don't have what revenue we bring in from it or what the offset is. As you can see there, Jones Edmonds, the dollar amount, 3-year total was about just over $2.5 million. That was for design of the 301, South 301 water and sewer lines, Cossack Road, Fort King water, wastewater, reclaim line along Island Boulevard, and then a generator grant. Some of those, and I don't have this verified, but some of those projects were grants, and I believe they covered some of the engineering costs on those. I don't have that breakdown though. Kimley Horn, just over 1.6. That includes Hercules Park, sidewalks, hotspots, and I spoke earlier about the review of traffic, methodology, and access review. Jacobs Engineering, they do all the airport engineering. And that was box hangers and then the runway extensions, things like that. Some of that can be reimbursed and through, yes, no? Right. Yeah, so what he's saying is that's a specialty item on that.
Yeah.
Engineer of record would be able to do anyway.
Yeah, BGE, again, sidewalks, they've done some review of traffic methodology and access review. We use BGE when it's a Kimley Horn project that is submitted to us. And then GAI, they've done CRA, the designs, the master plan update, and the parks master plan. So they are engineering, but they've really been utilized on the planning side instead of engineering side design. And then CPH, that was the design of the public works facility or, city yard. And then Corneliuson, I spoke about that when I started this.
Billy, do we have like contracts, like 3-year contracts or something like with Jones Edmond and Kimley Horn and maybe Jacobs Engineering? Is that how it works?
We do. We have continuing services contracts. We go out for RFQs on those. We select them and then we utilize them. Yeah, I know your next question is going to be when are those contracts up? I'd have to go look and see. I don't know.
But if you had and my question would be, can that position save $200,000 a year in engineering? If it can pay for itself,
Or
it's
more,
worth looking.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth looking at.
It
If
would
it's
have to
not,
save
I'm
more.
not for it. So
Yeah.
I think, I don't know that answer. I'd have to do the math because we'll still have to have stuff for specialized design, major transportation projects, the utility engineering, geo work, surveying, things like that. The potential engineer could do the engineering review, stormwater engineering, some of the smaller projects, construction oversight, consultant management, CIP things, grant related engineering. So I think there's an opportunity there, but I haven't dug in deep enough to tell you, yes, we could pull $200,000 out of here to cover it.
Do you think that one consultant could do everything that we need?
One consultant, no, because they have specialties. So you have like Jacobs, for instance, they do airports. Jones Edmonds does utilities. Kimley Horn is really kind of I don't know what the right term is, general engineer where they can
Generalist,
go across all
So-
aspects.
So we would look for somebody that could do as much as they could for us.
So you're asking about an in-house engineer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would have to, I mean, that would be a question. You'd find somebody who's a generalist or I guess a civil engineer who understands a little bit about all of it and can review plans, look
What
at and
did Gordon
understand.
do in Dade City, for example?
He would, he was a civil engineer who would review plans.
Generalist.
Yep, generalist. Yep.
Right, and then,
I mean, his specialty was utilities, but he could do all of it.
now, was he a department head or was he a standalone or?
He was a department head. So in Dade City, it was a public works director / engineer, which there was public works had utilities and public works underneath it. I think they've switched from that point. I think, and I've said this, so the department heads in the room will, I don't think will be surprised. At whatever point they decide that they no longer want to retire. I think I personally would like to see public works / engineer and utilities director / engineer, and have engineers sitting in both those positions, one on the public works side, one on the utility side.
And I was going to say that that would be a good way, an entry position, then it could be an assistant department head, or it could be a succession plan for when there is a change in the guard and that kind of a thing. So you would have somebody kind of in place and ready to go.
Thanks. So Jones Edmonds, when we look at that last year, 2025, we spent over $1 million with them. And that was the South 301 wastewater, Fort King wastewater reclaim line. I think those projects, the scale of those are such that we couldn't have in-house staff doing those. But I think if we took one of those projects a year, that potentially that person could act as an engineer of record, as opposed to, and actually produce the work or hire out production of the work on behalf of the city. Hercules Park, sidewalks, hotspots, et cetera. I think that review of traffic methodology, access review, those are kind of generalists. That could be covered by generalists. So some portion of that, I mean, park design is a specialty, but some part of that probably could be done by an in-house person. The box hanger designs, we already talked about, that got reimbursed. Sidewalks, review of traffic methodology and access review. So BGE, definitely the stuff that they do for us could be potentially done in-house, I think. The CRA designs master plan updates, park master plan. I think that is a little bit more specialized, and that would definitely fall under that. I think the real benefit there is that we would have an engineer that was developing a scope of work for the engineering projects that we need help with. Instead of us going to the engineer and saying, what do you think we need to do here? So then they're developing the scope of work. Design architect for public works facility. Again, that's a specific project. It's a bit specific large scale project. And so the question would be, this was built into the cost of building out the public works facility. But the question would be, are any of these others, it would be nice to know what portion of the $1 million that we spent with Jones Edmond and what portion we spent with Kimley Horn could be a role that could be played by this engineer of record. And particularly Corneliuson, if we spent, $134,000 with him over the last few years, that could completely be recouped because the in-house civil engineer could potentially do that work.
Right.
So that's a good question. Basically, it's would we have a recurring savings of $200,000 a year? Then it makes sense. And we have to have the answer to that before we make a decision.
Yeah, and the other thing about it is, not only are you going to, if you can cover the costs, but you're going to have the answers at your fingertips. You're not going to be calling somebody in Sarasota, Corneliuson in North Carolina, or all these other places. You have them right in the building with you, and you can walk down to their office.
But how do we bill for it? That's the question.
We don't. They're an employee.
I know, but imagine this though, right now, if we're able to recoup some of our expenses for a traffic study, for example, we're able to recoup that from a developer, we would still want to do that as a city employee.
Yeah,
the
currently
same way.
we
Charge fee.
get a task order and we push those fees back to the developer. I don't know the answer of, can we then, if we have an in-house engineer, charge those fees? I
It's
don't know
harder.
that answer.
It's harder because you don't have that documentation.
I'd have to look at that.
I've gone back and forth on this numerous times and, I mean, I can see the value of having one in-house, but, you know, and Councilman Smith brought up saving 250,000. I think it needs to be more of a savings than that because I think how we got here is because of the amount of money we spent, $8 million in the last 3 years on it. And that needs to be cut significantly, I think.
Mhm.
So obviously, first of all, the guy's got to cover his own salary. He's got to save money there. Then plus, you know, I think the savings should be relatively significant before we go to hiring one. Because first of all, he's going to be looks like he's going to be the highest paid employee in the city too.
No, he's not.
No, salary
No,
would not.
You don't know the salaries. Look at the salary study.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's salary only now. If you were to look at total pack, yeah, they would not be the highest paid. They'd be up there at the top,
Yeah, it's one of
but
the
at
top.
122,
Well,
they
it's
would
gonna have to
be.
be.
Well,
yeah,
a lot
at
of the departments
122.
Or you're
are
not
right
going to
up there
get,
too.
you're not going to get anybody.
Not
It's not-
anyone worth it.
In that group health, jeez. How much, well, that's another story.
I'd like to see what savings we would have, what you would have to, somebody's gonna have to look at that, figure it out, what we would have saved over the last 3 years on different projects that Councilwoman Wilkerson brought up before I would approve hiring one too.
Yeah, and we can make changes up to the second, well, it'd be internal anyway. We're not going to change
Right.
the total. But we would change, we have to the end of September. Okay,
And yeah, it's some portion of, it would have to come out of some portion of the utilities, some portion of the public works and some portion of planning would, that position would be paid, I guess.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, it would go across different accounts.
Mhm. The CRA, for
And we
example,
would
the
also
CRA
have a
would pay
better
for the
idea,
CRA.
I think, if we have somebody in-house of if the work being recommended and the dollar amount being recommended is in line. I mean,
I think it would have a lot of advantages.
I
We
think so
have, you
too.
know, we don't know that sometimes. You have to take their word for it. Okay, then you can,
Would you have that answer by the next meeting?
Yes. Yes.
good answer.
I don't think I have an option.
All right. I had another question on two things. FEMA money. We had hired a company to go after some FEMA reimbursement. And then we hired an attorney to go after more or some FEMA. Have we gotten any results from that?
Carlisle Thompson's gone ahead and assisted us. We had an open PO for $175,000. And we've gotten roughly $500,000 in FEMA money. What we asked for help was with the appeal for the debris removal. One was for the subdivisions that were gated, and that was about 75,000. That was a no-go for FEMA, and we didn't even have really a chance to appeal it. The other was for debris removal from city property, our parks, and that was $750,000. The attorneys that we engaged, their outside budget was $20,000 to do the appeal. They were able to do it for $14,000. We got it onto the FEMA portal. We have probably about 60 days, correct, for them to chew on it some more before we know if they're denied it. And once they deny it, then we make a decision whether we want to go to binding arbitration. And again, binding arbitration, 12 of the judges will do things by teams. One judge requires us to be in person. So that's the make. We don't have the funds for the 750,000, but we think we have good documentation. We'd like to fight it.
Okay, so that's going well then.
For the, yeah, I think it went
I
well
mean, it's
for us.
going
to-
better than it could have been.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Could've got
so,
nothing.
so let me just, so that was money we expended, funds we expended, and we felt like FEMA should reimburse for.
Yes, we were out all those funds, $750,000 to rehab debris remove, people to cut down trees and remove that debris. And city employees to go in and participate with that as well. And that's the real rub. It just really irritates us to say that we weren't able to get the city employees to be reimbursed FEMA too.
You said that the consultant we hired, we paid 175.
The purchase order was for 175. We did that in a step up, but that's the total.
But we
That's-
got about 500,000 back, so
That's correct. Yes, sir.
more than half. And then the attorney, the appeal, was about 14,000. You haven't heard back yet, but
Filed the appeal. We expect that to take some more time for them to chew on it and most likely will deny it. But then we have the same sets of attorneys that can go ahead and do the arbitration.
arbitration.
Right.
Okay.
They're up to speed on the case.
Maybe we can settle somewhere in between with an arbitration. Is that
Yeah, hopefully, yes, sir.
okay?
And Ted, just, you said that they denied the communities that were gated?
Yeah, so
What-
we
what-
go ahead and pick up.
Why? Why?
Not just gated, but private.
Anything in a private
streets.
street?
Right.
So I guess the argument I mean, I'm sure it's made, but they're taxpayers too, correct?
They are taxpayers, yes, sir.
I mean, what was the rationale?
Dad, whenever you get into the private streets, they say it's an uphill battle. And that was like $70,000, am I correct? Yeah. So that's not, the 750 is what we're taking really aim with
Right,
an
right.
exception.
And the funny thing about that is, or ironic is, when we approve subdivisions and things, we push for private streets so that we don't have any responsibility. So you cut your nose off to spite your face sometimes.
We don't have to maintain the roads.
Right, but we have to pick up the trash too.
I guess they need to just push all the debris out into the
they'll say
city right of way. That's my
If you
recommendation.
can get up over the water and the sludge.
Get
We
you
we
some
can
loader.
make that recommendation.
The other thing I wanted to ask about was grants and contributions. We contribute to the Chamber, the Y, CHIPS, scholarship account, and youth grants. We don't have the Sarah Vandenberg's foundation
that is
on
in
here.
there. That's part of the youth grants, the $35,000 was budgeted.
Oh, it is? It's in there?
That's in there, yes, sir.
Is it at the 20,000? Because he had come and asked us for additional money,
He asked for 30, so it's the same as what we funded last year,
which was 20.
which was 20. So that's what is still in there.
All right, okay.
We did not increase it because
Okay.
council didn't look inclined to increase based on,
Well, I'm
All the
just
other-
asking. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure the 20 was there. Okay, I don't have any other,
I do think that's well spent because I do think it benefits a great number
well,
of members of our community.
yeah, he talked about it at the meeting. He said that they deal with 120 students, 3 schools within the city limits. They're expanding their programs. So, yeah, I think it's well spent. I just wasn't sure what was there. Okay. Mayor, did you have any other? Councilwoman Wilkerson?
You know, I think all my questions were
Ones that are gonna get shut up next year.
answered at the last meeting.
Councilman
I have no more.
Proctor? Burgess, Smith? City manager, do you have anything you want to add?
sir.
Okay, so we're going to look at the marketing money, decrease that by 100,000. And then we're going to look at what we can do in terms of a bonus.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
We're going to get some information about the city.
And we're going to get information about the city engineer. Is that all we need to do? And I think the tree mitigation money is well spent too for what we. Okay, anybody, any employees want to say anything? Anyone else in the audience want to say anything? Okay, meeting's adjourned.
One down, two
Mhm.
to go.
One down, two to go.
This morning,
Shall we,
sometimes I'll get up at 3 and I'm just.
Five.
pass me the gavel?
Oh. You want to move here? No. Oh, that's good. I get to.
It's gonna be
Sandwich is down.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I have your attention, please? Good evening, welcome. This is the CRA meeting, regular CRA meeting, Monday, August 24th. It's 5 o'clock, or it's actually 5:03 PM. At this time, I would like to ask everyone to silence their electronic devices and would like to ask our city clerk to please call to order the meeting.
Call this meeting to order. I'll do a roll call. Jody Wilkerson,
Oh, I was calling to order. Thank you. Here.
Steven Spina,
Here.
Charles Proctor,
Here.
Kenneth Burgess,
Here.
Lance Smith.
Here.
Mayor Munson,
Here.
William Poe,
Here.
Matthew Maggard.
So the first item on the agenda, business item number 1.1, is the CRA meeting minutes from June 22nd. Do we have a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or modifications? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Madam, could we move item 1.4 for the next, above 1.2?
Yes, so we have a motion to move the residential ownership incentive grant to now. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. So our CRI director will start.
All right. Okay, this is the house at 5419 9th Street, and we do have you have not closed on the house as of yet, but these are the potential owners, the Junkets. If you have any questions, their grant application meets all of the requirements and staff recommends approval. They are aware that if they sell the house, move out of the house, or no longer live in the house, I'll change that. That the $10,000 is due and owing immediately for the 5 years. They will file homestead exemption for the 5 years, and then after that, the lien will be removed. They are aware of this. Any questions?
Do you happen to know how old the house is?
Do I happen to know how old the house is? If you look at, I don't have your backup, but the card from the property appraiser has the year of the house on it.
In the 50s, probably. Looks like my house used to.
1910, okay.
Mhm.
Thank
I knew it was one of the older houses.
you. Okay.
It's on the contributing structures list. Will?
I don't think so because of the changes that have been made to it over the years.
It's a nice little house.
Yeah,
It's a nice
cute.
little house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
It
it's a
needs
nice
some
little
love,
house?
but
And they're still eligible for improvement grants too?
That is
And-
correct.
And they're aware,
Once-
and you made them aware of it too?
They are aware of that too. Once they own it, because currently
Right,
they
right.
don't own it, but once they own it, they can apply for grants.
Like painting and, Windows,
Exterior,
exterior.
windows, doors, anything on the exterior of the home.
okay.
Do we have a
And
motion?
I'm just happy y'all are here today. I'm happy for you moving into the CRA. Glad we could give you the grant. Is there anything else? I'll go ahead and move we approve this.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. Welcome to the neighborhood. I hope you're successful.
Okay.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Smart.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the review of the tentative fiscal year budget for the CRA.
I don't have, I'm sorry. Yes, you should have the attachment. Because I don't have it.
You have it, you don't? I have it here.
You do have it?
No.
The backup, the actual CRA agenda, I
My
mean,
cat
budget.
box is on, so I've done something wrong.
What do you want to know?
I want to answer any of your questions.
Okay, your total
you have it?
revenues are 4.8.
I knew you were, it was wonderful that you stayed. And Ted is right here with me in case you have any questions other than capital outlay. We can go over, the CRA is budgeting 300,000 for land acquisition, building improvements at 200, infrastructure at 225. There's $1 million in the CRA budget to contribute to the Zephyr Park. $1.9 million is dedicated to the Clock Plaza. Sidewalks, I have 225,000. So total capital outlay is 3.85 million.
Madam
We
Chair,
also have 200,000 in there for grants. Now, I will say that come November, right now, we don't know what will happen, but come November, should the property tax be approved, we would need to rethink a $10,000 homeowner incentive grant.
Well, Mr. President, I was wondering what the rest of the council.
Madam
thinks.
Chairwoman, I'm right here.
Madam Chair.
It's okay.
Sorry, Madam.
It's all right.
You got me.
Go ahead.
No,
Well,
I
since
wouldn't
we
have
don't,
laughed if y'all-
since we don't really know what's going to happen in November
Right.
with the taxes, should we think about stopping the incentive plan until the election? I'm just throwing that out to the council.
And I don't disagree with you. I mean, we have certainly, Billy and
Not
I have.
anything that's already in the pipe.
Right.
Right.
Like what we
And,
did
and we
tonight.
have advertised it and promoted it to all of the realtors. And the realtors are out trying to sell homes. And if you've driven around in the CRA district
We've got
lately,
lots of
we have a lot
opportunity.
more for sale signs than we used to. So if we can incentivize it, I don't want to I don't want to tell the people that we've already told them that this year we would give them out. But, we might want to reallot that money in November.
Well, Madam Chairperson.
Yes.
I think that we should, thank you for saving me. I think that we should at least go to October 1st.
Yeah.
That's only 2 months,
Yeah.
a month and a half.
Yeah.
Right.
oh,
Not
no.
even, a month.
I
And
was just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
It was an
And I
idea.
have certainly said that. I mean, that has been the discussion that come October 1, we're not sure. We're not sure what will happen. And then we'll have to wait until November.
But if you go back to look at your revenues.
Well, and we
let
have
me
to
go back
remember
up,
that,
Because
yeah, go ahead.
your revenues come from property taxes, county
That
and
is
city.
correct.
Mhm.
And you don't have too many homes in here over 250 really.
Mhm.
So
No, it is
this is going to
to
be a
devastating.
earthquake for the CRA.
Yeah,
if
you're
that
right.
passes.
You're right.
It is going to be devastating. And so, the CRA cannot hold money. We can't forward over money. Carry forward. Can't carry forward money. So, I mean, some of the projects that I am doing, we are fast tracking so that we get them done because I don't know what
So we
our,
can spend the money
right,
that we've
We got
reserved.
right, that we have for these projects you just mentioned.
Mhm.
that is correct. I mean, when I first came, 65% of the homes in the district were not homesteaded.
There are rentals, right?
They were all rentals. They were all summer or winter rentals. Most of them were. And they sat empty. And it was a big push by the CRA to incentivize home ownership, to get people living here year round. Well, this is really going to change how we look at residential.
What, do
yeah.
you know the percentage now of rentals?
It's about 50%. It's about 50-50.
Well, that'll help you a little though. I mean, in retrospect,
That's correct.
Yeah.
because they won't be impacted by
Correct.
the homestead thing. So, okay, I think these are good projects.
Madam
And-
Chair,
yes.
I'm sorry, you finish?
Yes.
Okay. I had sent a letter and talked with Gail a little bit about to see if we could do something with the landscaping downtown. And I think what's happening is we're putting more and more on our parks and not necessarily giving them the resources we need to keep them good. And I wasn't trying to slam anybody, but it's just a fact, you know? And I'm just afraid we put this new landscaping in. We've got to allocate more dollars somehow towards the maintenance of that landscape.
Well, one of the things that we've been talking about for a long time, and that is that I think we've asked the Public Works Director, is that we have these fancy parks now. What do we need? What do we need to be providing? We probably need to have a maintenance schedule, and maybe it's 2 dedicated employees or 1 per park. I mean, I remember there used to be a fellow out at Zephyr Park, and he spent all of his time out there. My dad wanted to create this Friends of the Park and all that kind of stuff because he was so excited by that and the passion. And that's what it is. I think it's this ownership, and we create this incentive for employees to want to make the parks beautiful and the landscape in the CRA beautiful, because it is imperative. If we're going to spend all this money, we owe it to the taxpayers to care for it.
Yeah, and I just didn't know if it's too much for our current staff. Do we need to contract something like that out for just the annuals maintenance and the, fertilizing 3 or 4 times a year and the spraying and the trimming, have them bring a crew in and just go through there? I'm just throwing out ideas, and
I think that's a good idea, although I don't think I don't think we can spend CRA money on it.
That's what Gail had said.
Okay.
But they might be able to swap out something that Public Works is having to pay for, or Parks is paying for, and maybe kind of trade off. I mean, Shane, you got any ideas on that?
If I could, Shane LeBlanc, Public Works Director. We have another parks maintenance worker in the budget this year. We've done a little bit of housekeeping in-house with our landscape maintenance team that we're trying to make improvements, but there's no doubt we're not Disney World, and we don't have 80 people that come out at night when the park closes and do landscape maintenance. We just don't have the resources. But I think another parks maintenance worker will help. The only thing that I see bad about privatization is you lose control over it, to where now we're pretty much in control. We can pull resources from here or there to go do whatever type of maintenance they need to do. But when you privatize, you lose control of that. That's
right. And I honestly, it doesn't matter to me how we get it there, but we just need to improve it.
And I think around the Alice Hall building, I mean, that always needs some sprucing up. That kind of looks a little, the grass is dead, and it just really needs a makeover. Thanks.
And the fear I have is we do the clock project, or the clock, what do we call it? Plaza, sorry, thank you. And I went back and looked at the plan, and it looks all great, lush landscaping, but I'm like, oh my gosh, and Shane looks at that and he's like, oh my gosh, same thing. There's a lot to maintain there, and it costs money to maintain that properly. So,
And we had that conversation. I did send an email off to Kimley Horn and said there are concerns. I need you to look at the landscaping and make sure that it is maintenance friendly. Now, Public Works staff has reviewed those plans. I don't know that they looked at it specifically for maintenance.
well, maybe the landscape architect can program an annual maintenance on the stuff that's there.
Yes.
And then we can figure a cost on that. And then that way, at
That's
least
the
we have
where
an
to
idea.
start. Yes, to have them come up with a maintenance plan, and let's look at it, and Shane look at it and see what it's going to cost and what they need to maintain it. The issue is the CRA can build it, and we can, and Hercules Park is stunningly beautiful. 5 years from now, if it's not stunningly beautiful, then we've not kept up our end of the bargain.
Right.
And we need to make sure that we are doing that.
And it's, I think it's always the question of the maintenance and the upkeep. It's like if you build a building and then it's the same, the concept.
Now, one of the things that we are doing as part of the Fifth Avenue Streetscape, which will be bid at the same time Clock Plaza, we're replacing all of the plant material from Gall Boulevard to 12th Street. plant material cannot survive in those teeny little medians and those pots. You know, it's been 10 years since we replanted Fifth Avenue. It's time to redo it. So we'll renew those plants. They won't be struggling. So, because right now they're struggling. They're between concrete and asphalt and, you know,
Well, it's been 100
mufflers.
degrees for, days on end too.
Right,
Now
right.
finally we're getting a little rain, but
And currently there's drip irrigation and we're going to put in pop-ups. Right, right. We're putting in pop-up irrigation, so that will help as well. So we're trying to look at it holistically, not just from, today and now, but what it will look like and how it can be maintained for the next 10 years or 8 years, however long that we keep it in there.
And quite honestly, putting it in is the easy part.
Yes.
That's the easy part. Maintaining it over the long haul, that's the hard part.
Mhm.
And those pots, they probably need to be programmed to where they're changed out a couple times a year with different stuff. So to look good,
I know.
and if we're going to do it, we need to either make it look good or don't do it,
Mhm.
So.
That's a great idea too, because it really does make the street pop when you change out the, those annual or the,
Perennials,
but-
yeah.
But it's money,
it's money. It's money. Everything is,
Now, is that something the CRA could
we
put money
can do that.
towards?
Yeah, the
We can
flowers,
do that.
definitely.
We can do seasonal color in the pots.
Okay.
Commissioner Burgess, do you have any comments?
No, I'm just kind of thinking though on the plants. I don't know if the ag program at the high school used to have a greenhouse. I mean, if there was a way to partner in with, so they could be growing the
Well,
plants.
that's a good
they're
idea.
That's a
maintaining-
great partnership. If we could work something
And
like
I
that
don't know if
out.
they're still doing that, but I mean, if you do something like that, then at least kind of reduce a little bit of the cost of the.
And a
of the-
good
of the
project for
stuff.
the
And
kids.
and the kids, yeah.
A great project for the kids and get them to be involved in downtown and love downtown. And maybe they wouldn't throw out trash or, mark up benches and stuff if they were involved in it. It's a great idea. We'll look into that.
Yeah, Mayor, anything? Okay. Councilman Proctor, anything?
No.
All right. All I need is a vote.
So we have a motion to approve the tentative budget for 2026-27 for the CRA.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you,
Next
Tim.
item, 1.3, approval of an agreement with Clifton Larson Allen.
Maybe you don't go too far.
Uh,
Know anything about this
C-
agreement?
CLA statement of work is based on the exam of the fiscal year 2026 CRA. Audit services explains what the auditor's responsibilities are for the audit and what responsibilities the city management has. The fiscal impact for the CRA is $4,830. With that, staff recommends approval of Clifton Larson Allen's statement of work. An assertion-based examination for fiscal year 26 CRA audit services and authorize the president or the chairperson to sign the agreement.
Okay.
The
Mr.
CRA
Beeson.
has to pay for its own audit.
Right.
And this is the same company that's doing the city audit.
That is correct.
And Mr. Beeson, historically, the CRA has performed pretty well on these audits, has it not? Okay, all right. I ask for a motion.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
This is the company that did that temporary finance fill-in for us back in 2018, 19.
I knew I knew the name. Mhm.
And when I went to the Tampa Bay Regional Planning Council meeting last week or 2 weeks ago, Kristen, the woman that had been here helping us, was there for some
Oh.
reason. But they're a good company,
Mhm.
I think. I mean, we had a good experience with them.
Yeah, we did. Okay, yeah, but Clock Plaza updates.
Okay, Clock Plaza design changes. So at the June meeting, Kimley Horn came, CRA board asked staff and Kimley Horn to look at keeping as many trees as we possibly could of the oak trees. And this was the existing design. They did change and make sure that everyone noted that that is red brick. But this is the original design with saving none of the trees. And I can't read the square footage up there.
Um,
707.20.
Okay,
Yeah, 7,720 square feet.
so go to the next one. It never works when you want it to, Ricardo.
Had that other bid monitored, work better. Got that little cheap one. I told him I was gonna buy him one for Christmas. I'm serious.
So while Ricardo's working on that, let me just say, you all received the report from Kimley Horn on the pros and cons of saving the trees or not saving the trees. The loss of the 750 square feet was the biggest one that stood out to me. I asked Camille with Chinmore to look at their report, at Kimley Horn's report, and provide additional input if she thought it was necessary. And that's what you have in front of you. Her notes are in front of you. Now, this is keeping the 4
refer to
trees.
red,
I'm
in the
sorry?
red.
Yes, those are her notes in the red, in
And
red.
she's the woman, the.
That was on the
arborist.
call with us. So this is saving, that's not saving. And this is saving the 4 trees and what it looks like. And it's a loss of 750 square feet. The
Go back
biggest,
one more time. It's kind of like that.
listen, I'm getting
Yeah.
dizzy. I'm getting dizzy looking at it.
Okay,
Um,
all right.
So it's 10% floor area loss is what you're saying.
Yes,
Okay.
and Camille's biggest thing was that in my conversation with her, was that all of those trees have to be barricaded off and the roots,
Air pruned and air spaded and pruned and
so the whole time that the roots are open, you cannot put machinery, nobody walking, nothing. So it would be, only the trees would be worked on, and nothing else would be worked on in that area while they were working on the trees. And at the end of the day, we'll do whatever the CRA commissions ask it to be done, but we don't know that they'll live. The trees are stressed. They are currently stressed, and we could go through all of this and they still not make it.
yes.
It looks like it, for us to hire somebody for the selective root pruning and the spading service would cost around 8,000 per tree. And then you said it yourself, we're risking them not even living. That just seems like a lot of money to risk because you're gonna have to cut the roots back quite a bit.
And the issue is, we looked at it. I mean, we were asked to see if we could save
We
them.
want to save them, but
We've looked at it and now whatever you want, however you want us to proceed.
Commissioner Smith, did you have
Thank
a
you,
comment?
Madam Chair. I went and looked at them when I was looking at all the landscaping, and they're not in good shape now. Originally, I thought maybe we should. Then I went back, I have an app that I can look and locate plants. So I looked, okay, how much is a 300-gallon oak, which is 20 to 22 foot, real healthy? They were about $2,000. Even if you figure 5,000, 6,000 to ship it and set it, you're still money ahead, and you probably have a better tree, you know? I wish we could save it, but I think it'd be better to put new ones in. After I looked at it and I thought about it, then I looked, I would probably be more in favor of replacing them, but we need to make sure that everybody knows that there's going to be replacement trees, because when those things get cut down, we're going to see a squall on social media.
Where's Kevin?
He's gone.
Well,
You gotta step out. He'll be
We'll
back.
work,
let
We'll
me
work
ask,
with Kevin
I'd like
to
to
make
ask
sure.
Will a question if I could. Could you come up? So we went to the futures conference, we met with that professor that specializes in trees.
Mhm.
And he said that basically that we knew there would be some expense that you could do the diaper planting and the trimming that you would have to trim some of the roots. So we knew that they're going in, that there would be expense and methods to preserve the trees.
The question is for the board is we're losing on a small lot, we're losing 750 square feet. And a lot of time of having the park down because of the root pruning
Well-
and making sure that that is done. However you want to do it. We'll do it.
I'd like to proceed and save the trees. I think that the actual layout of the plaza, you don't lose any of the property up front by the band stage.
No.
You just lose it
Will-
around the tree. And, the tree area. And,
If we plant oak trees, back in those two locations.
well, I know you can replace everything, but the point was to save existing trees. That's what our goal is. That's why we passed a tree ordinance. That is what we set out to do when we do these preservation projects. I mean, we could tear down the Jeffries house too and build something else there, but you don't have the same effect.
So let me
The
ask you this.
idea of all this is preservation.
When we're talking about this preservation and the air spading and the selective root pruning, is that based on a healthy tree, or is that based on a tree that's already stressed and, dying? I think statistically your odds are much better if the tree is healthy and you're trying to preserve it. And we've done that on other projects successfully. I mean, it's a crapshoot, but I mean, I would go with what the majority of council feels, but I am concerned about cost
We all
and the
will be
loss.
going with what the majority of council approves, but
Mhm.
I think the idea is you try to preserve what's there. I mean, it's just like what we did out on that neighborhood on Geiger, what they've done behind the hospital. They go in there, they mow down every single tree. And then our argument is, well, we're going to plant new ones.
Yeah, but those were healthy trees. Yeah.
These aren't doomed
Well,
trees.
But that's what the arborist is saying. That's
take
what
a
I'm
good-
hearing.
No, it's not.
Take a
She's-
real good look at them though. I don't think there's healthy. If they were big, grand oak, I would say do everything we can. But when I looked at them, I thought, man, I don't know. Once you take a few of them out, there's not much canopy in the ones that will remain. And I'm scared that we would spend that money and maybe they wouldn't make it anyway. And we could put a tree in that would surpass it in a couple of years,
That, and Camille came down and looked at the trees and walked the plaza and touched them and all that. But I don't see here where she's saying they're not in good shape. She's just saying that you're going to have to do different things. And
Well,
that will impact
Well,
construction.
her
We wait months to do things all the time. So if you're going to not be able to do something else and you're going to be able to, preserve the trees and preserve that area around them, every project we do goes over just about.
Did you give an indication of, if we were to try to preserve what's there, how many years will we get before we're back at it? Trying to keep them, if they're already somewhat unhealthy. I don't know. I'm just afraid that we do all this and then in a few years we end up taking them out, replacing them anyways.
Well, that is the crapshoot. That is
But
the
is that,
issue.
what was her indication? Did she have an idea of how long or
You
anything?
couldn't get an arborist to tell
To-
you
to say.
whether it would live or not. And the biggest unknown is when we start taking off that concrete, what the roots look like after being under that concrete and how entangled they are with the other trees.
Well,
I
you're
mean-
removing 2 of them already, or 4. You're going to take 4 out and save 4. So they will have room to grow when you remove that and.
Yeah, because, you're exactly right, because we're going to build a planting bed that has nothing around it for the roots
So
to grow.
They could be released and breathe easy and better and have a better root growth.
I'm not an arborist, I'm just,
Well, I'm saying I'm not either, obviously. but I'm just saying that when you redesign it and you give them more room to breathe, then that maybe that would impact their.
And I don't know what, I mean, we don't know exactly what the cost is of building a suspended pavement system around the trees to save them. I don't
We
have a,
can get that number. But Mayor, did you have a question or comment?
I just, when she came, I mean, we can read all of this, but did she give a recommendation at all? Did
No.
she didn't say what she felt should be done at
no.
all?
I mean, she said that you might be able to save them, you might not be able to save them. It was,
No.
and she would not give a definitive answer on whether they could be
probability.
saved.
So if you're looking at 8,000 a tree, that's $32,000. Approximately to try to save them.
Well, that's just,
Okay.
that's the pruning. That's the cost of the pruning.
That's the cost of
It doesn't include the,
pruning, air spading service will cost, it's anticipated that root pruning and air spading will cost around 8,000 per tree.
Well, you're gonna be buying new trees.
Yeah,
that
right.
are gonna-
So I'm, as far as that goes, because I mean, listen, every time we cut down a tree, my heart aches, but, this one's hard.
it is hard.
This one's a
What
hard
exact-
one and, yeah.
No, she couldn't.
What exactly is the type of oak tree that's in there now? Do we know?
I think it's live oak.
Live
yeah.
oak?
It is, but they're not
And
that
what was it
big.
used price
I'm
wise?
looking at them
What
picture
kind of
wise.
oak
That's
did
why
you
I'm trying to
do I
picture
want?
which
It
ones
was a 300 gallon.
they're
Big.
talking about that one. That's what
Well,
I'm
I make a motion then that we preserve the existing trees.
We have a motion on the floor. Do you have a second? So the motion dies. Okay, what's next?
So let's make sure, Kevin, we have,
Well, as we
This
talked
is gonna
today,
go up.
I'm going to try and have those trees on the lot when they take them out.
yeah, because
So people can
this
see.
is going to cause some distress to our residents,
Yes.
and so
Well,
we
not
need
just
When
to.
they
our
cut the
residents, I
trees
think
down
it's
on
their-
Fifth Avenue, women in town got up there and
20
blocked the
foot.
city workers
Yeah,
from
I
taking
know.
them down.
I know,
And maybe we can do that down there.
yeah.
We'll get into some good trouble.
Good trouble. The director's report. Okay. Staff is working on multiple projects right now. The first one is we have been working with Duke Energy. Duke Energy has been very helpful in coming up with a plan for installing streetlights on the city sidewalks that we currently have. 26 lights. We're looking at they have proposed 26 lights, black fixtures with the acorn tops. I will have a proposal to you at next month's meeting. The Greenway Loop. Staff is working, planning, and CRA and Public Works are working with Bear Engineering on the creation of the trail from Hercules down to South Avenue and the depot, and then carrying it from 20th.
Basically from Meadowwood or from San Pasco Park to Hercules.
To where?
Hercules to San Pasco.
Okay, that's the whole plan. The CRA will pay for everything that's in the CRA. Those items that are outside of the CRA, the city's general fund will pay. We're also,
Where's that gonna, you'll have a plan that you can show us?
yes.
Okay.
Well, I lost my finger.
Can I jump in there real quick? So,
okay.
so the idea, the preliminary plan is San Pasco. It'll come up the little 2-tracker as it crosses
Mhm.
Tucker to the
Right.
east side of Meadowwood. It'll turn west on Austin, connect into Meadowwood, the trail that's there, take it through Cruisin', turn north on 20th Street, And then along South Avenue, it'll turn west again. It'll go all the way to Zephyr Park. But then at 8th Street, it'll turn north and head through town to Hercules. And then Hercules ties into 54, which ties into Dairy, ties into Cossack, ties into 301.
Are they going to try and do veterans since they're pretty close there somehow?
We didn't talk about that.
We're
for this
looking
first-
at one of the, in the plan, here's the trail and then the sidewalks that go off of it and making sure that we are building sidewalks, designing and building sidewalks. It may not be a trail, it may be a sidewalk that connects
Yeah.
veterans.
That's good.
Yeah, because we also need to look at Railroad Depot Park, making sure it connects at that too somehow.
So yeah, Depot, so it'll come up 20th. The current trail that runs south out of Depot will connect into 20th Street. And then we're also looking at the possibility of connecting. There's already a sidewalk that connects it along South Avenue, Depot to South and 20th. But we'll have discussions about making that a trail with sidewalk.
Thank you.
And the issue, I mean, one of the things we're looking at is I don't think we can get a 10-foot trail. We may end up with an 8-foot trail on 8th Street, but have plans and we're moving forward. Any questions on that? We'll have plans back to you. We met this morning
I just
on it.
one quick question. The Tucker Road, Sam Pasco Park, there's a new development going somewhere in that area. Is that going to impact it on that at all?
Yes.
Are we going to get them to participate in that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That's really what started this. Planning was having conversations with Bristol Meadows, it was called? Austin Ranch, and with the county to try to coordinate a project there.
So that'll all connect. The planting has been completed at Hercules Park. We lost some plants during the freeze. We thought they might come back. They did not. So we replanted those and that has been complete and it looks really great if you haven't been out there in the last couple of weeks. We are also working on the Fifth Avenue streetscape. It will include the same lights on Fifth Avenue as we have on 8th Street here. We're going to put the orbs, the stainless steel orbs in the trees. And again, it will be bid as the same time as Clock Plaza. We're trying to make that a one project. Park signage.
Where was that?
Across the street and down the street.
Fifth Avenue streetscape, we're
Okay.
replacing all of the landscaping
Okay.
and we're going to put those orbs.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And we're also working on, I'm sorry, we got that finished. Park signage. I've seen them. They sent us pictures of the signs. We're just finishing them up. And as soon as I get a date for installation, I'll email everybody so you know. But they are in production. I've seen them. Staff is also working on a public art commission in conjunction with Main Street. CRA has funding for public art. We want to include public art as part of the Clock Plaza. And also, if you remember when we were doing the backyard, there was a entryway on the alley from 5th. We're also working with an artist to create some images. Now, I will tell you that Main Street is going to make a recommendation, but the CRA board will have final approval. So of what it's going to look like. But we're looking at public art for the square and also for the entrance at the 6th Avenue alley. And one last thing, Napoli Tatteria is having their grand opening on the 27th, which is Thursday at 3 p.m. If you are available, we would love to have you there. Kevin is going to send out the invitation to each one of you so you have the date and the time.
Thursday at 3 p.m.
Thursday at 3 p.m. And also Kevin has arranged for Channel 28 to do another story on the restaurant and the city's involvement through the $50,000 grant and trying to encourage people to look at Zephyrhills to bring their business. So be looking for that story on your local channel 28. And my last thing is just a shout out to the police. Thank you to Lieutenant Hillen. We have been working on cleaning up the parking lot behind where the dog pound is, and with the help of code enforcement. And there was a bus parked back there that had been parked there day after day after day, and we couldn't find anybody. I reached out to Lieutenant Hillen, and in 2 days it was gone. So thank you. We appreciate that. And that is all I have. Any questions?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes.
When you said something about the commercial grant, it made me remember, did we look at making sure that committee, we get some type of report from them? Because there's a 3-person committee that reviews a commercial, and make sure that whoever does it submits
Yes.
all the documents.
We
can-
talked about that, and your question was, did they have a business plan?
Correct.
The idea behind the grant is that we only invest in things that stay with the building. So that if that person leaves, the next person comes into an improved building.
But can't we require that as part of the
Well,
grant?
because you asked, I asked if we could do that. And yes, we're going to do just as an informal, let's look at it, and then provide that feedback to the council.
Yeah,
or the
I mean,
CRA
I think
board.
it's good because we're making a commitment of $50,000. So, I mean, they should at least have a business plan, right?
Well, let me just tell you that I was there on Saturday night and it was packed and it was probably a 40-minute wait. The only thing that I have to say is that it was warm in there. So we want to make sure that that when we're retrofitting these buildings, that they're using an engineer to do area calculate or, fresh air exchange and things like that. So it was, but it was a very pleasant experience and the food was fabulous,
So,
very professional.
and they are working on the air issue. We've had my brother's been out there along with another company. It's not going to be an easy fix,
No.
It never
unfortunately,
is,
but,
especially with a wood-fired pizza oven.
yes. So they are aware of it and
But we
not
are
sure.
thrilled to have that caliber of a restaurant in
I agree.
downtown.
I agree.
Absolutely.
And I 100% agree with
Well,
Commissioner Smith. Business plan has to be in place because otherwise we're just investing in something that's going to go down in a 6 months.
Well, I will tell you that the building department staff, Calvin and Wendy, came to me after they met with him originally and said, I thought this guy knows what he's doing. He is a professional chef.
Sure.
But after that conversation, I added it to them.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And they can be a professional chef. The thing that they don't understand is there's
The
a
business
huge,
side.
big thing
Yeah.
it's not, and that's one of the problems that our business owners have. It's one Vicky deals with, I dealt with at the chamber, is they get single-minded. So, business plans can be done.
Well,
The
and
not the county, the Pasco EDC, they will help to do those. If they don't have them, it's not that hard for them to figure that out.
Identifying,
And-
where their clientele, like I asked.
And we talked to them about, you can't be a jack of all trade. If you're
No.
in the restaurant business, you need an accountant,
Yeah.
you need a marketing person.
Absolutely.
to
There's
help you.
100%, you have to have somebody in place for each thing. So
Madam-
thank you.
And Madam Chair, would that be something that the chamber could help them
Mhm.
produce? I mean, if they
That-
came to y'all for help with a business plan,
Or the
y-
EDC.
y'all are a resource we
absolutely.
could
That's
direct them.
part
That's
of
a
the-
great idea.
That's part of the Economic Development
Yeah, the
Coalition.
ZEDC.
The ZEDC is helping with that. That's one of my biggest gripes was I would tell people before you sign that lease, if you'll come spend an hour with me, I'll tell you if you're ready or not. And then if you're not, we'll give you steps to going. And with that in mind, Rodney's been working with them on, with the ZEDC to try to help with that. How do you start a business in Zephyrhills? Making sure that document's updated and working right.
Yeah,
So,
visit with our chamber and a visit with our CRA.
yeah,
director.
absolutely.
And then,
Really hard.
yeah, and I asked a couple who was sitting there, I said, where are you from? They said Wesley Chapel. I said, how'd you find out about it? And they said, we heard it on Facebook. And I said, have you ever visited any of the other cities, any of the other businesses downtown? They said, no. And I said, well, you should check out Papano Coffee at our Zephyrhills Brewing Company because they're awesome too. So,
Thanks for the plug.
Hey, so speaking of Papanos,
Yes.
what's going on there this
They are-
week?
They are going to film in there. They're making a film and they're using Pompanos as backdrop. So
Who's
Who's
making
making it?
Who is?
it's somebody from their group of friends. It's not it's a production company.
Oh, okay. An
Did you
ad
want me to
for
say
them.
more? I don't know anymore. Okay. Okay.
I didn't know, that's all I knew, is that they were filming something
Yes. They're using it as a backdrop for 2 days. And that is all I have. Any questions?
Can I
Commissioners? No,
ask
go
something
ahead.
about Main Street, or is that coming up? You're going to do Main Street?
No, I am, thank you for mentioning that. Antoine has been out of the office for the past several weeks. And so we are working with him. Hopefully he will be back soon
Okay.
and we can go from there and we'll pick up.
Okay. I just had a resident bring something to me the other day and I wanted to bring it to this
Okay.
meeting. I told them I would, that they were on vacation in a cute little town like ours. And their downtown flags, you know how we have those? They had local heroes in that, and and that might be something that we could look at adding to that during, if you wanted to do it,
Founder's Day or whatever.
Founder's
yeah.
Day. And
Founder's Day, Veterans Day, I was in the town of Donaldson, Georgia, and they do the locals from World War II, Vietnam, and it's a tribute to
Yeah,
the
and that-
families.
I think that's a
And
great,
it's
thought.
beautiful.
Mhm.
So yes, we have talked about that.
okay, all right.
And the DAR did a series of flags in Dade City and they were pretty reasonably priced. I want to say it was like $125 a sign or something like that. And so, you can get sponsors, business sponsors or families to sponsor as well. Anything else?
I have one, not about Main Street. I have
Yeah.
something else.
Mhm.
When we get a report like this from Kimley Horn and from the arborist, number one, we just got her comments today at 4:00. So it's very hard. I would like the arborist and the engineer or designer to be at these meetings
Okay.
because we don't have the chance to ask them questions and pick their brain. I could have maybe gotten somebody from the University of Florida here if I knew that this was I kind of felt torpedoed. So I think that, and council meetings as well. If we're going to get something like this, we need the engineer here. We just showed that we pay like $8 million for them.
Okay.
They can come and attend our meetings so we can ask them questions.
All righty. We'll make sure it happens.
Thank you.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to ask if there are any citizen comments. Anyone would like to make a presentation or talk to the CRA board? Seeing none, meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Can we eat our sandwich now? You're right. They should have been here.
Yeah, we should have known in
100%.
advance and had, I.
Agree or disagree, they should have been here.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought that,
Who's this? For me? Is that for me? Okay.
Well, I could have had somebody here.
that would say, oh, you can have.
Yeah, I can. And he told me.
But that goes on anything. That goes on anything. I don't know. Not without getting a price.
He's mad. He's mad.
Hey, we're gonna go after the meeting? No.
Right.
Oh, yeah. They're gonna be dead in the water.
I was just at my sister's in Colorado when they were unrestricted. Spain and France burning up.
Yeah, we haven't had, and even last week, we had very, maybe the whole week. Really?
We had a torrential Monday, last Monday, Friday, a week ago Friday. Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first year that I've had to regularly turn my irrigation back on. Because it's bad.
Good. How are you? Well, I know.
Right?
Good evening. Welcome to the regular city council meeting of Monday, August 24th, 2026. Ricardo, may we have the roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. President. Steve Spina,
Here?
Jody Wilkerson,
Here.
Charles Proctor,
Here.
Kenneth Burgess,
Here.
Lance Smith,
Here.
Mayor Munson,
Here.
William Poe, Matthew Maggard.
Thank you. We're going to have the invocation tonight with from the Reverend Benjamin from St. Elizabeth Episcopal Church. Please rise. Stand. Please rise. Here, here.
Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm an Episcopalian, so I only say the authorized prayers, not my pet peeves, just so you know. And today we have several prayers to pray because of the season we are in. The first prayer is for sound government. Sound what?
Government.
Sound what? The word is sound, not crazy government. The Lord be with you. O Lord, our governor, bless the leaders of our land, our city, our state, our country, that we may be a people at peace among ourselves and a blessing to other nations of the earth. Lord, keep this nation under your care. The president and members of cabinet, to governors of states, mayors of cities, to all administrative authority, especially Zephyrhills City Council, mayors, that give them wisdom and the grace to exercise their duties. To senators, representatives, those who make our laws in states, cities, and towns, give courage, wisdom, and foresight to provide for the needs of all our people and to fulfill our obligations in the community of nations. To the judges and officers of our courts, give understanding and integrity that human rights may be safeguarded and justice served. And finally, teach our people to rely on your strength and to accept their responsibilities to their fellow citizens, that they may elect in this season of election trustworthy leaders, make wise decisions for the well-being of our society that we may serve you faithfully in our generations and honor your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, one more. Sorry, not yet. Almighty God, our heavenly Father, send down upon those who now hold office in this city, especially, are the names right? Ricardo, Mayor, Jody, Charles, Proctor, yes, Stephen. Where's Lance?
I'm over here.
Oh, Lance. Kenneth, where's Kenneth? Oh, okay. William and Matthew, right? Didn't miss anybody, did I? The spirit of wisdom, charity, and justice, that with steadfast purpose they may faithfully serve in their offices, promote the well-being of all the people of this city. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, one more. For the armed forces, you can't forget those, can you? Wait, I lost the prayer. Okay, here we go. For the armed forces, here we go. Almighty God, we recommend to you gracious care and keeping all the men and women of armed forces at home and abroad, especially in this season of conflict. Defend them day by day with your heavenly grace. Strengthen them in their trials and temptations. Give them courage to face the trials and perils they face and beset them every day, and grant them a sense of your abiding presence wherever they may be, wherever, in the Gulf, in the Strait of Hormuz, in Miami, wherever they may be. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
And then finally for the weather. Hey, it's hard. Almighty God, we thank you for making the earth fruitful, for it to be an agricultural state, so that it may produce what it needs for life for everybody, for the whole country. Bless those who work in the fields in this heat. Give us some cold seasons, Father. Give us seasonable weather, rain and cool, and grant that we may all share the fruits of this earth, rejoicing in your goodness through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you,
Okay,
Reverend.
and finally, one more.
Thank you, Reverend.
One more. For those who are bereaved, O merciful Father, who has taught us in your holy word that thou do not willingly afflict or grieve the children of your people. Look with pity among those of us who sorrow right now, their servants here present, whom our prayers are offered. Remember them, O Lord, in mercy, nourish their souls with patience, comfort them with a sense of thy goodness. Those who grieve now, their loved ones, are this both present and absent, especially our mayor. Lift up thy countenance upon them and give them peace through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reverend Benjamin, I saw a sign at a church in the Rocky Mountains last week, and the sign said, "You can fool the pastor, but not the master." Okay, thank you. All right. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend.
Okay, is there anyone here who would like to speak to an item on the agenda, on tonight to council that is not on the agenda? No? Okay. Mayor?
Sorry, we had somebody that was going to speak, but they walked out. I just wanted to make sure. they-
Okay.
Had an opportunity.
Here, well, thank you. We really enjoy recognizing citizens that are really stepping up and helping in our community. And this was sent to us by a resident. So right here, this was her, okay. And that was very special. Thank you for doing that and making us aware. Whereas the city of Zephyrhills is proud to recognize residents who volunteer their time and resources to assist others and contribute to the well-being of our community. And whereas for the past 3 years, Zephyrhills residents Don and Holly Millie, is it Miley, have regularly volunteered their time to assist with lost, abandoned, injured, and vulnerable cats and dogs in and around our community. And whereas their efforts have included setting up humane traps and monitoring cameras to safely secure animals that may be frightened or difficult to approach, helping get them out of potential dangerous situations. And whereas after animals are safely rescued, Don and Holly frequently transport them to Pasco County Animal Services or other appropriate care, providing their own transportation, fuel, equipment, and other resources. And whereas through their continued willingness to respond when animals are in need, Don and Holly demonstrate the value of volunteer service and the positive difference residents can make within their community. Now, therefore, I, Melanie Barr Monson, by the virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Zephyrhills, do hereby recognize and commend Don and Holly Miley for their volunteer service and commitment to helping animals in need, and extend the city's appreciation for the time, effort, and resources they have contributed to the Zephyrhills community. Thank you. Thank you. Animals play a special part in my heart. We'll come to this side so we can get a picture, and then we have these points that are very, so you guys get those, okay? And we'll come together.
Very good.
Thank you.
Those are those marketing expenses. That's cool.
Thank you, Mayor. I like this, that we've started recognizing people that do things in the community. I think that's a nice touch. Okay, next item is our agenda, our consent items. Does anyone have anything they would like to remove?
ZEDC.
What about the ZED?
Oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Stovall, we have the ZEDC report.
So good evening, Randy Stovall with the Chamber, and I want to talk to you about an event that's going to be right here. Hopefully you'll enjoy that and can be with us on October the 14th. And it's our annual economic summit. And I want to tell you something about the agenda because it's got, I think, really good stuff. Of course, our city manager will talk. Rodney, our planner, will give us a story of how he's doing things with the city. And we're particularly trying to think about the industrial development that's happening here. And so we're going to work on that as the main kind of agenda topic. Tom Ryan from PEDC is going to talk about sort of how he has done his job of helping bring people here and how he'll continue to do that for us. We're going to have some panels, and I think most programs are nice when you have panels. Usually the audience appreciates different people's point of view. So we're going to have a panel on workforce. So how do we get people in those jobs, those manufacturing jobs we're bringing here? And that's going to be include people from PEDC, from the AM skills that I want to talk to you about in a moment or two, and from Career Central. and from the Bay Area manufacturers. All of those are people who will contribute to helping our workforce. We're going to have another panel, and the panel deals with kind of infrastructure type things. And that's going to be, again, from PEDC, Duke Energy, the railroad CSX, and from our transportation planners, the MPO CEO. And so I think it'll be a good event. Usually these events do well. We hope to fill the room, and hopefully we'll learn some things that help us to do a better job to make our city the best it can be. And kind of related to that, and one of the speakers on the workforce part is a guy named Tom Murdano, and Tom works at a place called AmSkills that we talked to you about in the past. And AmSkills, I think I mentioned to you, had written and received a grant to do training on our side of the county. And so they have scheduled what they call a boot camp for September. I don't know yet how their recruiting of potential participants is going. That so far 9. Wow. Because he only had 8 spaces. So that's a good. Oh, they had 12. Okay, great. Well, 9's a good number. So the idea of that boot camp is to get people with some interest in manufacturing. Then they give them a little taste of a lot of different parts of a manufacturing facility, not focused on any one particular one. And they try to connect them up to the manufacturers that may have jobs in the community. And they really, their goal is to get some kind of an internship or apprenticeship type thing for them when they finish. And then, it's kind of up to them. If they do well, the people who gave them that apprenticeship got a chance to see them. And if they liked them, they can continue on. And if not, they still got a good shot and learn something. So we're really excited to get that. We believe that the grant has enough money to do a second one of these. So we'll see how this one goes, and hopefully it'll work well. And related to that, the AmSkills folks have brought on another staff person who kind of focuses on this for us. And they have, you never know how things go, but they've been encouraged to come up with a quicker plan than they had first thought to perhaps open a regular facility on our side of the county. They've been encouraged actually by a certain agency that may have discretionary funding. So they're working really hard now to kind of identify what they might do. They have kind of given a facade of what they think a building might look like. So hopefully that'll come to fruition in another year or so. We'll have a permanent maybe facility that we can help workforce employees. So that's kind of where we are. I'm here to answer questions if you have them, or Vicki, our CEO, is here as well. And I would just thank her. She's done a really good job on getting this program together and talking to all the potential speakers, et cetera. So she's been working hard on our behalf. And I'll say the other thing, not a ZEDC thing, her other part of her job, the chamber job, we have a program Wednesday morning at St. Leo called Access East Pasco. And it's going to be a presentation. I think some of you probably are going to come, but presentation from different parts of our county, including the county manager and commissioners, and then our state representatives. So I think it'll be a good meeting. Those usually are. We all learned a little bit. And more importantly, we get them to, we wave the Zephyrhills flag so they'll know that they need to help us right when we need things. So that's my report. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks for your volunteer work. Okay, now we have the consent agenda. Is there anything you'd like to take off?
Mr. President, 5 and 6, please.
Great. Do we have a motion to remove 5 and 6?
I
So
make a
moved.
motion that remove 5 and 6.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, do we have a motion to approve the rest of the consent agenda?
Move approval of the rest of the items.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you to our community volunteers, Midori and Ms. Rose, who are stepping up to serve on the planning commission.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Okay,
I had just asked that to be pulled just to get an explanation on the additional request for funds on both
Right.
these items.
Thank you, Councilman. Rodney Corvo, Planning Director for the city. The existing work order gets us through the bidding process, which has successfully been done. You all have awarded it. So now this task order will get us through the closeout of the construction process.
On both projects?
Correct.
So it's kind of on every hotspot, is it going to be we've gone to the bidding, now this is the next phase, and then the construction also?
That's the way they've been formulated up to this point, but if it's the pleasure of this council, we'll go ahead and modify that. If it's okay with the engineer, we'll include the entire process, if
Okay.
that's your pleasure.
All right, because I thought we approved the whole construction project. The other day, it was 100 and,
Yeah, it was, we did the construction.
That's the,
You
yeah,
did the construction phase.
So
Yeah.
this takes it, the engineers, construction, and then post.
This takes it, the engineers that designed the project, this gets it through the process with the construction company. So with the issues any of the issues that come up and then the closeout of it, that's with right away, things like that, the permit issuance and stuff like that.
Yeah, the original contracts were through bidding services.
Yeah.
Or services through bids. And now we're doing a contract for construction services. So it's the monitoring, construction, RFIs, those types of things, all the way through to closeout.
Authorizing it was built to the specifications they
Correct.
made then.
Yes.
Correct. And then they'll be at the kickoff meeting when we have our kickoff meeting soon with a contractor as well. So that includes all that assistance. And then to Billy's point, up until the closeout when this project is complete and it's done.
okay.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
One question then, do we want to change this for the future when we have these hotspots? Do we want to incorporate the entire, if that's possible with
It might
the
just as well
contractor?
if we need it, I think, don't y'all? Or
Yeah, I think my recommendation would be when we do these is it's all the way through closeout. So when we do design, bid, construction, closeout, it's all one contract.
Yeah.
With
Duly
the
noted.
engineer, with the engineer, because that would be better.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate the
All right.
feedback. All
Thank you,
right,
sir.
yes.
Mr. President, I move approval of items 5 and 6 on the consent agenda.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving item 1.5 and 1.6, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, public hearing, item 2.1, development permits. City Attorney.
Business item 2.1 is second reading of ordinance number 1526-26, ordinance of the City Council of the City of Zephyrhills, Florida, amending the City of Zephyrhills Land Development Code, amending Part 11.01.00, procedures for obtaining development permits, including Section 11.01.03, completeness review, and Section 11.01.04, review and decision, amending Part 11.03.00, subdivision review, including Section 11.03.04, final plat review required, and Section 11.03.04.03, approval procedure, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing for an effective date. And this is a public hearing.
Okay. Okay, the public hearing is open. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this item? This is an item that reflects, basically driven by state law requirements that
Right.
requires times for reviewing permits, and we heard about this last time, but Will give us a quick update.
Yeah, Will McCaw, Principal Planner, City of Zephyrhills. Yes, Councilman Sweeney, it's exactly that. It's just to bring us in compliance with state regulations on review timelines for development permits. So.
Okay. Any questions for Will?
Nope.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, hearing no comments, does anybody have a motion to close the public hearing? Close the public hearing. Public hearing's closed.
President, move to approve on the second reading ordinance number 1526-26.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 152626 on its second reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Item 2.2, reclaim water, second reading of ordinance 1527-26. Matt?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is second reading of ordinance number 152726, ordinance of the City Council of the City of Zephyrhills, Florida, amending section 51.23 of the City Code of Ordinances, repealing and replacing the schedule of rates and charges for the use or the availability of the use of potable water, wastewater, sewer, and reclaimed water effective on or after November 1st, 2026, providing for repeal or severability and an effective date. This is also a public hearing.
Okay. I open the public hearing.
Ted Beeson, Finance Director for the city. We're at a point in time where we've had one reading, and we have on the screen right now is a good look at our $20 million wastewater facility. Water and sewer are capital intensive utilities that we go ahead and run as the municipality. Next slide.
Mr. Beeson,
With
speak up
that-
just a little bit if you could, please. Thank you. Can't hear you.
Thank you. For 2027, our estimated expenditures are $3.9 million for personnel services, $4.5 million for operating expenditures, and again, $11.5 million for capital outlay, along with $2 million for debt service. To support that, we are asking for a 3% increase in our water and sewer rates. Next slide. Those are the capital projects that we're going to go ahead and support during the 2027 budget. Conversion of the ag well, meter replacement of $1.7 million. And you can read the list of those. Those are in our budget. Next slide, please. Where do we compare to other governments? We compare favorably. This is with our rate increase, and our average customer uses 4,100 gallons. So we would be at 72.26. Pasco County would be above us. Newport Richey at 74.82. The city of Lakeland at 65.29. We're at the middle of the road then with what we're doing for our water rate increase. Along with this is a 3% increase across the board, but we also are going to change the way that we're going ahead and billing our RV parks. Next slide, please. Emerald Point would have an adjustment on their rates. Currently, they pay a rate based on the size of the meter, and the proposal in our ordinance is that they would be billed according to their water consumption in the way of their comings and goings for seasonal customers. Now, how that would work is their winter rates, their, say, versus their summer consumption would be roughly about 40%. So that would trigger the fact that they could get an adjustment on the number of units that they would be billed. There are 297 units, so that they would come in and they would say, hey, the summer is roughly 40% of the winter consumption. That triggers the next slide, which would say, how do we go ahead and adjust that base rate? We're going to annualize what they would be during the winter. We would go ahead and say, hey, if you were fully occupied, you'd have 5.6 million gallons. Your actual consumption is 3.6 million gallons. We would do the division on that. We would come up with 64%. Next slide, please, Ricardo. So based on that 297 units, 64%, 190 units, then it would have the base rate for the sewer would be $2,289 on a monthly basis. And that's up from being charged just on the size of the meter at $602. There are 5 RV parks, mobile homes that are affected by this. 2 would be able to go ahead and have this prorated based on their number of water consumption would trigger the prorating. The other 5, we've turned into more of our year-round occupancy on our RV parks and our mobile home parks. And those wouldn't even be affected by this. It would just be that they would be charged per unit for those. 2, Sleepy Hollow, 2, and Emerald Point would be eligible for this proration. The alternative is that there would be no proration. There would just be charged 297 times the $12.05. So this was an accommodation that the city staff came up with to say, how can we address the fact that some of these RV parks are gutted during the snowbird season? Now with that, we realize there's 2 points of view, and I think we have some folks from Emerald Point.
Right, may I ask you a question? So the actual water consumption is 3.6
million gallons annually.
annually, but we're going to annualize that so that they'll be billed at a consumption rate of 5.6 million?
They wouldn't be
To be an
billed for that.
average.
They wouldn't be billed for the 5.6.
You're averaging it out.
We're averaging it out to say, hey, we can give you an estimation of, that's the best way we could say, what's your occupancy year round? Your occupancy year round is 64%. And that's the way I've estimated it. I
So
think,
they'll be charged for 190 units rather than 290 units, basically.
rather than 297 units,
Right.
yes, sir.
And this is needed because we have to run the system all year long, regardless of whether people are here.
Correct. We have infrastructure that we had to go ahead and build. The $20 million for the sewer treatment plant exists whether someone's here or not.
Right. Okay, all right, thank you.
And the other mobile home parks in our community pay per unit. Is that correct?
That's correct. Other mobile homes and RV parks are paying per unit and year round, with the exception of Sleepy Hollow 1, which essentially all the residents leave. They shut off their service.
Mhm. And that's an option.
That's correct. If all your residents leave and you want us to go ahead and shut off your service to the entire park, you can do so.
Okay, thank you.
So what, the two, then you're saying two that are going to be affected?
So Sleepy Hollow 1.
Sleepy Hollow 2
Mhm.
doesn't have a total vacated park.
Mhm.
They leave 10 units that are occupied during their snowbird
10
season.
units. So they can come and we can do a formula like this for them.
That's correct.
So do they know that they can come in and we can do
Yes.
that?
Yes, they will know.
They will know.
Okay.
They currently have an arrangement where they have 10 units and they're separately plumbed on a meter that's a 5/8 inch meter, much smaller. And they use that during their off season.
Okay. Do they, Ted, I'm sorry, do they just flip a switch to switch to the different meter type?
We go out and actually physically turn off one meter and turn on the other meter.
Okay, thank you.
But this arrangement would have them being charged very much the same rate that we are doing with Emerald Point. This theory would be applied.
The same theory.
Correct.
If they only have 10 occupied out of, I can't remember how many people they have over there. So,
76 units in
Okay.
Sleepy Hollow 2.
okay,
So it's based on the water consumption. We take a
Right.
look at that, we put it through the formula,
okay,
and it works out.
Yeah.
Works out well.
yeah, okay.
Thank you. Okay, we'll have some public comment. Is Dana Conley like to speak? Could you give us your name and address?
Pardon, sir.
Your name and address, please.
My name is Dana Conley. I live at 3445 Barrel Lane, Zephyrhills, which is part of the Emerald Point neighborhood. I'm here along with one of our directors, Jim Howes, and I am the finance chairman. So we are here to protest the change in Section 3 Master Meter RV and Mobile Home Parks base rate per unit on ordinance number 1527-26. And this is not the first time we've been here. We had the same discussion back in 2024. In that particular year, the ordinance did not pass, but we objected to it then and we object to it now and ask that it be removed from the ordinance. And I can explain why. We have been subject to this revised rating method as a master meter since 2013. along with, it was originally 4 other parks. And so nothing, it's worked fine since then. The change in the method to get to convert the usage to a per unit basis, we feel has no basis because we're treated like a company. And I think this was the theory back then, that we have 297 individually owned residences in our park. And we are in the business, the Emerald Point Property Owners Association, in the business of providing services for those people. We have 1 meter outside the park. Now we get 1 bill and we collect a POA fee, not dependent on the water use, but we use that money to provide services for these owner occupied places. And it is very, very seasonal. Literally everybody goes home. We have a lot of Canadians and they go home early on. So we feel like the 2013 method works for us. So I looked up and, I said, how can we understand this a little bit better? And I went up and I looked up what is the base rate in a water rate? What is the base? What's the basis for the basis? And so it says it's for fixed costs, upkeep, service, meter reading, and administrative billing. Well, in the case of Emerald Point, you do no repairs in our park and you never have. We're 30 years old and we do all our own repairs. You come and read the meter, we get 1 bill, it's an auto pay. We pay you every month. And our people don't have meters. So we don't understand why there is a necessary charge per unit, because basically we're getting nothing from the increase. And the increase that Ted proposes, it increases just the base rate. That's before the rate increases or anything, $25,750. And on our base rates, compared to what we're paying now, that's a 291% increase. That's before any rate increases. That's just the base rates for the water and the sewer. And we find that to be completely inequitable with the services we're going to get for this increased pricing.
What is that would be the bill with the increase?
That would be just the increase from change in base rates.
What's your current base rate? What do you charge currently?
Currently, that was an annual figure. Our water base is 151.18 and our sewer base rate is 585.32. And annualized, that is $8,837 a year.
Mr. President, how many?
And so now our
Sir?
base rate part of this jumps up to $34,587.
How many units is it?
297.
297.
300.
That's based on our 190 units. And I'll get to the units here in a minute, if I can.
Okay. Yeah.
So we find that to be completely inequitable because we understand we take care of our own water lines. We always have. If we have a water break, we had one in July of 23. It was a bad one. It leaked for a long time. So we're paying the usage fee. Until it rained, we didn't know it was there. So it went down. It was a city water line. And on the 4th of July weekend, it cost us $15,000 to get it repaired. Just last spring, we're getting ready to seal our streets and all of a sudden a city water line breaks. And so we can't seal the streets if the streets are wet. So we hired a contractor, came in and we fixed it, $5,700. So we're spending money. And in that particular case, I remember it was like a 2-inch valve that was just after 31 years or 30 years, they go bad and say, well, there's about, 28 of them in the park and in our system that our board knew about. And so we just went and bought 10 more because we knew they'd have to be replaced. We know we're going to have to update it. And you're not going to, the city's not going to, and we understand that, but we don't understand the arbitrary rate increase in the base rate, just so we can be like the other folks. Everybody has a base rate, but that really doesn't apply to our situation. If I'm a homeowner here in Zephyrhills and the water main or the water line breaks down the street, and the city's going to come and fix it. If it breaks in our street, as it has, then we fix it. So the units, how many people are there or not there, really has very little bearing on what it costs us to maintain and upgrade the system, because the city is not going to, and we don't require them to, and don't expect them to. So
Okay.
that's, and the other portion of it, that's the main portion. We just don't think it's equitable or necessary to raise the rates by 291%, just the base rates. Before, we don't, the usage rates we've got no problem with. The trash rates we have no problem with. The base rate, in all due respect to Ted, the formula he came up with, I understand, but it's arbitrary, where he took the first 3 months and added those up and multiplied that before with this and came up with his 64%. Well, he could have chosen another method and taken the highest month to annualize the high month deal and multiplied it by 12 and run it through the same process. And it would drop the percentage from his 64 down to 61, and 3% on, when you multiply out the units, that's 9 units. So we did a little research, and on 191 units that we're paying for a base rate for, in our park, that's about 2/3 of the people, of the units being occupied, the houses and whatever, occupied year round. That's just absurd, because our people, they basically come beginning in, let me go back on, as far as permanent residents, and what Ted's figure is saying is, well, that's 100, an average of 190 residents being occupied year round. And that's just unfathomable, because it just doesn't happen. There are, presently, there are 46 permanent residents in the park. And it's up a couple because we've had some newer people come in, say, we like this, we want to stay here year round. Those are the year round people.
Now, your park is rather unique because the people that stay there, are they residing in their RVs?
Well, they're not all
mostly?
RVs. These are park models,
Park models?
RVs.
Because I know they have
Porch
the
with
buildings
RVs.
on the side, in the garage, but some actually live in the.
Yeah, those are ports.
Mhm.
Right.
And it's a living facility or storage, or whatever they want to use it for, and a place to park the RV. And and we have 7 cottages, or eight cottages, I think, that are actually homes and have RV garages in them. But those people don't stay either. So the majority of our people start drifting in around October, the middle of October. And a lot of the Canadians, because they're restricted how long they can stay here, 181 days, they usually don't come, and sometimes until after the first year. And we have people who are there, they come in October and go home in November and December. So to say that 2/3 of our residents are occupied and using water on a routine basis for 12 months is just not true. And at the end of March, we have our annual meeting, the 1st of March, and generally by the end of March, you're down to your 46 people. So the calculation method is subject to interpretation.
Right. Well, you understand our dilemma, though, that we have a system to maintain.
Pardon me?
I
It's
said,
the
you
water
understand
outside
our
of the park.
dilemma that we have a system to maintain
Right.
so that we can service the other 250 when they get back. If we can't keep it all up when they're gone, then we're not going to be able, when they get back, we have to keep it running all year long. So
You're talking about the one, not any upgrade of maintenance to our park or repairs?
that is different. I'm not sure why do we not, why, do you know why they don't maintain it? We don't maintain anything?
Just like any other mobile home park or RV park, the master meter, the maintenance starts at the meter.
Oh, okay.
So that would be universally the case with any mobile home park.
Okay.
Really, we're talking about, you mentioned that if a line breaks inside the park, you fix it. But if the line breaks right outside the park, in the right of way on the street, that's what we're responsible for. And so those are aging, is just like the park, just like the pipes in your park are aging, so are the ones that are in the major right of way. So I think that's what this is a long-term plan to preserve and protect and replace those as we need to. So we're, that's I think the logic behind it. If I'm understanding that correctly, is that right, Mr. Beeson? Okay, thank you.
So do these other parks, and do they get an increase too
Yes.
on their base rates
Yes.
of
Everyone
of
does.
291%?
They're already being charged those rates. The mobile home parks are already being charged those rates. There's some RV parks that are being charged those rates already. There's 4 exceptions, and we're going to bring them up where everybody else is.
Yeah, this is just an RV park situation. The mobile home parks already pay.
Well, in mobile home parks, a lot of people, mobile home parks stay there 12 months a year. We don't. And
Right.
therein, I think, was a distinction in 2013. These people are unique because of fluctuation in their population.
Right. Well, right, but as we've kind of indicated that the whole system has to be maintained and kept up all year for the top amount. So when everybody gets back, everything's still running. We don't shut it off or cut it back 40% when everyone goes away. So
Okay.
that's our dilemma.
Understanding
Do you have
that,
a question?
if we can possibly put some input in what that number of units realistically is, it's not 190.
And that's.
And just doing some math on that to what an
Yes.
average one,
Right.
I came up with about 145, and that's being liberal on behalf of the city. So rather, and Director Beeson here, he has to recalculate this every year. It's part of the ordinance, which is, I think, extra work we don't need. And plus it's an uncertainty we don't need in trying to do our budgets every year. Because water fluctuates. If you get a big leak, you got a lot of water. No one was there. No one was using it. And so if we could, here's what I would propose is, okay, I figure about 145 and 50% of 297 is 148.5. And if we could agree on that, I can sell that, can't we? Okay. And because they haven't been increased for a long time, we understand, but the uncertainty of trying to calculate rates based on gallons and all this other stuff, I think is creates a lot of uncertainty, certainly in our mind. We don't never know what we're going to pay.
All right.
So if you can find it in your heart to compromise and just set the rate at 50% of whatever the 297 and go with that, I don't think we'd have a problem with that.
All right, Mr. Conley, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ted.
Is that,
Yeah, could I ask, Ted, how do we calculate the other ones, the way you're proposing
The other units or the other mobile home parks are just per unit,
per
year
year?
round. Because their water, we haven't offered this because I was trying to come up with something that would take into account the snowbird nature of Emerald Point, and Sleepy Hollow too. Truly, more than half our residents go ahead and evaporate during that time. Ricardo, if we could go through my slides again where we come up to the month by month. More. So just if we look at water consumption we kind of can feel like, hey, the number of residents that would have come back during the winter months versus left during the summer months. It's a progression, and that kind of captures that. I don't have to sit there each month. We could say, oh, show us your records and let us know when everybody comes back. Let's let the water consumption speak for itself and saying, hey, based on that, we can assume that we're going to go ahead and prorate those rates, prorate the number of units accordingly. And we'll make 2 exceptions. By using this formula, it cuts Emerald Point a break and it cuts Sleepy Hollow 2 a break.
So just so I understand, you took the low and the high, got a ratio out of that.
First step, take a look at the high, the winter, but in the summer months. If that's less than 50%, then we'll go on to the rest of the calculation to say, oh, we'll annualize your water consumption.
Okay.
There's only 2 parks that meet that criteria. That their summer month consumption is 50% or less than what their winter month consumption is.
Then you do the ratio?
Then we do the ratio.
Okay, and the ratio is a percentage high or low over high.
That's
okay?
correct.
And then multiplied by the number of the units.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Which gives you the average units annualized.
That's correct.
And that's how you came up with the 190?
That's how I came up with the 190. That's correct.
I mean, I find that correct. Now, maybe the people in the winter use less. I don't know, you know. Maybe the people there during the winter use less per unit. We don't know, but that way he's proposed is valid in my mind,
Could you go back to
mathematically.
your formula that you had up there?
That should be advancing.
Another thing in a retire, we're above 55, above park, and we don't have 2 kids and taking a shower. And another thing that I'll mention is that we don't wash our cars with city water. We have a well, and we use well water to wash our cars and get cleaning. There's well water in our pool. And if you look, our annual, we pay $80,000 a year in 2025, and about that the year before, but it was more than that the year before. The reason is the directors here, we have a work crew that goes around and maintains, looks for leaks, works for all these things. And we take water conservation serious because there is a drought, and it shows in our results and years. And we just don't feel like, in my heart, when I know about when people are there and when they're not, and we don't waste water, like I said, we don't have kids playing in the yard and watering the grass and all that. We have well water for that. So I'm just saying that we're different, and we're trying to look like we're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole in this situation. And like, if you want more money for maintenance, yeah, just come around and say, we want that much money. But to base it on some arbitrary figures.
Oh, well, I don't think they're arbitrary. I think that's logical.
They could be taken, let's pick this quarter and multiply it by 4, and you get one number, so well, we'll take the highest and lowest and have it. No, that was just the general way you did it. Out of that quarter, you take the highest one. Say, okay, let's assume it's the highest max revenue every month, and we multiply it by 12, you get a different number.
But
So Ted,
it's in that 60% range.
Ted, by code, we could charge the base rate times 297,
That's correct, sir.
which
We're
is a much
trying-
higher number
Much higher number.
Okay.
We're trying to make an accommodation by doing this formula.
because the water's on demand. I mean,
It-
yes,
yeah,
everyone leaves, but the water stays
That's right.
on.
Any of your residents could come down at any time and the water's going to turn on, right? Right? I mean, that's a yes or no question.
And it's part of our rules at the park. You'll leave them for 1 or 2 weeks, turn the water off.
Right, but they can come back in at any time. So I could decide I'm going home, wherever home is, right? And they come back tomorrow. All they have to do is turn the knob, right? And the water turns back on and they start using it. So that's part of it, is that the water is available 24/7, 365. And we, as a city, have to maintain the overall system to be able to provide for that demand on a daily basis. And so, I mean, I'm looking at it's about, if my math works, it's about 1,700 gallons a month per unit on the high season. So for whatever that point is, but that's
not
where it
much
is.
Per day.
No, so to his point, I mean, they're not
1,700 gallons per month is what you said, boss?
per unit. Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
over 300 units. So I mean, y'all are conservative. You're very conservative with the water. But I think this does, like you said, I mean, I have to pay a base rate on mine unless I shut it off, unless I go somewhere and I shut it off. So my base rate helps.
Shut it off in terms that you come
I
here
come down
and
here,
turn it.
I get charged to
service
shut it
off.
off.
turn it on
I
and
get
to turn it
charged to
back
turn
on.
it back
Yeah.
on.
Right.
And then I don't pay the base rate during, but the base rate helps me ensure that that water is going to flow to me, that the plant's going to operate properly, and we're going to have water sustained over a long period.
Well, the turn on fee and turn off fee is basically going to cover what the base rate would have been so that you still can maintain a certain level of service.
Right. Well, and understandably so, you know.
Well, I wonder, yeah, it is. And I wonder, how long is this? So this was first brought up in 2013? 2013?
Since 2013, we've been dealing.
2013, the requirements, they just said we want to be treated as a commercial, but ours is a 4-inch line coming in. And the council agreed to it. And I think there's 4 left out of the original 5. And that was fine with everybody.
You were here, right?
And it worked good. Now, if you all want to put more money in a base rate, then I think what I'm trying to have to calculate is if we use the low figure, the high figure, or 4 times the high figure, which reduces Ted's figure down by 3%. We can argue the arithmetic and the mathematics all day long.
All right, well, I couldn't, but something.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me ask this. All right, so this has been going on for 13 years. Is it possible to maybe phase this in?
Ordinarily, I would say so, Dr. Spina, but 2 years ago, I sent a very clear signal. You would have to be deaf, not hearing, and saying like, this is not right, what's happening with this. I sat down with Dana at that point in time. My language at that point, I got a verb incorrect, and you said like, well, I think it could be interpreted rather than 64%, it should be 36%. I folded like a cheap chair and I said, I don't want any part of this right now. 2 years ago, now I'm coming back. This is a rational basis for charging. You can look at the water consumption. You can look how people come and go. I think it's fair and it's equitable. We have other mobile home parks and RV parks, and they are being charged for every unit that's being occupied. They would have to go ahead and raise their rates at $125 per resident per month by $7 in order to cover the water and sewer increase, $3 to go ahead and cover the sanitation increase that's coming. Yes, it is going to be an effect to them, but it's been telegraphed way in advance.
What was it? What's the $125 figure?
The $125, I believe that's the charge that you have per resident per month to maintain your park. Is that correct? Yeah.
Oh, you're,
Our POA fees are-
okay.
This is what the POA fees up $7 a month for every resident. Regardless of how long they're there a year.
That's not too bad.
Well, let me ask you, Ted. So I'm assuming the whole exercise in this is to make things kind of equitable because we're talking about master meters and then other mobile home parks, everybody has their own meter. So through the years, and I'm sure you've tracked the consumption and everything, and I know it's a big hit all in 1 year, but in reality, most likely was probably under for a lot of years. Would that be correct?
Correct. Very, very generous.
So it's kind of making up for a lot of years before, but it's all coming at once, which makes it seem like a lot.
That's correct.
But the $7 a month times 12, then times 297 comes to $24,900.
That's correct.
So the actual increase your residents will feel is $7 a month?
That's correct.
And then we won't even talk about the garbage, but that'll be later.
All right.
Okay. I don't know. All right, thank you. Council, anybody else? Mayor? Anyone else? Okay, anyone else like to speak to this? Okay, close the public hearing. Do we have a motion on ordinance number 1527-26?
Mr. President, I move approval.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 1527-26. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
And Mr. President, if I could, the caveat, when this starts, the clerk has enough time to go ahead and forewarn your residents or let them know there's an increase coming. When will this take effect?
It'll take place October 1st.
Okay, thank you.
So we can be clear that the formula is what you described, Ted, as the three highest orders for January, February, March.
January, February, March, consumption during those months. Those will be the highest.
You'll take that and multiply it by 4 and create your base.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you.
That is your formula. You didn't get it out of the manual or anywhere.
Been put into the ordinance.
Okay, thank you. You can talk to him later then. All right, thank you. Okay. Item 2.3, city attorney.
Business item 2.3 is second reading of ordinance number 1528-26, ordinance of the city of Zephyrhills repealing and replacing section 50.40 of the Zephyrhills City Code to update the rates and charges established for the city of Zephyrhills Sanitation Division of the Public Works Department, providing for severability and an effective date.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Public hearing's open. Mr. Beeson.
Yes, as we discussed at the last meeting, we had the presentation from Peter Engel
Yeah.
over the, we can go through that entire presentation, or I can do the summary.
You can do the
Come
summary.
on, one more time.
Is Peter available?
The summary is that your residential rates are $15.03 per month right now. You'd be going to $18.79 and a rate increase of 25%. But that's because the rate of inflation, the cost of providing the sanitation services for the past 9 years has gone up greater than the rate of inflation, and we were playing catch up. So we still are very reasonable from going to 1503 to 1879. You can see the dots on the screen and saying where we rank with our peers. We have the justification in the way of the trucks that we go ahead and purchase to go ahead and pick up the sanitation, the quality of service, and the service that our residents have come to expect. In addition to that, also trying to cover for our post-employment benefits was one of the ingredients as well, and providing for our retirees. Be more than willing to answer any questions that you have, but we talked about it extensively last council meeting. The 25% rate increase is needed and to see us through.
It is pretty high.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
Ted, we went 9 years without an increase, is that right?
We went 9 years without the rate study.
Without a study.
So
Okay.
we just did CPI increase.
Okay, gotcha.
And so over the next, so it's 25% this year, 5% the next year, and then it goes down to 2.5%, 2.5%.
That's correct.
And then I would encourage you to continue with the rate study in shorter increments than 9 years.
Yeah, and not wait 9 years.
I mean, maybe tie them to how often you do the salary surveys. That might keep you up to date. All right, all right. Anybody here like to speak to the sanitation rate ordinance?
Did you open a public hearing?
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing I'm going to say, so for 1879, I get 2 pickups of garbage a week. And every other week you come and get my
recycling.
recyclables.
And it's the highest rated service we provide in the city.
Correct.
It's worth every penny, I
Yeah,
think.
people
Yeah.
really are
Yeah.
complimentary of our sanitation services and employee department.
Right.
Okay.
It's the sweet tea at Sunny's, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have something else?
I do think for disclosure too, that's for our residential rate. We will also be going up on our commercial rates by that 25% too as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Do I have a motion then?
I move for approval of ordinance number 1528-26 on the second reading.
Second?
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 1528-26 on its second and final reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, thank you. We're in the business items, 3.1 municipal facility rental policy. City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. President. Business item 3.1, it's first reading. It's a resolution 875-26, resolution of the City Council of the City of Zephyrhills, Florida, establishing a unified municipal facility rental policy for certain city-owned facilities, repealing resolutions number 797-22 and 798-22, adopting Exhibit A, establishing municipal facility rental rates and providing for an effective date.
Okay, thank you.
We had different resolutions for Alice Hall and the depot, and this, the process has been unified on how it's booked. So we're combining the rate structure as well. So it's just more streamlined.
So you'll pay the same rate at the depot as you pay at Alice Hall? No.
We should not, yeah,
No.
because they're
No.
not the same caliber of
It's just the uniform
spaces.
system.
Uniform system, yeah. So for Alice Hall, there's 4 different rates. Well, sorry, take that back. There are 4 different rates. There's the Alice Hall has a resident weekday rate of $60 an hour, a non-resident weekday rate of $75 an hour, a resident weekend rate of $80 an hour, and a non-resident weekend rate of $100 an hour. The train depot is resident weekday 40, non-resident weekday 60, resident weekend 60, non-resident weekend 80.
And that's basically because of size of the facility and different things.
Correct.
And
And
staffing the facility on
and
weekends,
staffing
additional
requirements for
pay.
cleaning.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Can you tell me what the rates are right now? It's just been,
These rates.
These are
They're not
rates.
changed, the rates aren't changed, it's just.
yeah, they-
Yes.
So
Yes.
Yes,
Rates
they
are
are.
changing.
Oh, they're increased.
Rates
Yes,
are,
they're
rates are, yeah. Yeah.
the current rates for the train depot are $20 an hour
okay.
with a 2-hour minimum Monday through Thursday, 4-hour minimum Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the Alice Hall is $40 an hour with a 2-hour minimum Monday through Thursday, 4-hour minimum Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Currently, weekend rentals have an additional $100 weekend fee associated with them.
So we're going up $20 an hour for each one, basically.
Right, but you're
But then-
doubling the depot though, and just add the 20 to the, why are we doubling the hourly rate for the depot?
Well, we just spent a lot of money renovating the depot and the parking lot. We completely resurfaced the parking lot. So, there's a cost associated with improvements, and those are reflected in the rate now.
And before we didn't have a non-resident and resident.
Right.
Right.
Correct.
So I get that. Okay.
Yeah, I think.
So basically, they're each going up $20 an hour for resident. Now, if they're non-resident, it's quite a bit more. Okay.
Mhm.
So your feelings are that we'll still
Well,
be able to rent these?
yeah, but I mean, you added the rate to the Alice Hall, we haven't done anything there.
I know,
I
yeah.
don't think it's really a cost of the renovation.
Yeah.
The renovations are paid from city dollars already. It's not like we have to recoup our investment.
But yeah, staff
Well,
time
yeah.
probably a little bit more than what it used to be, for sure.
At present, the intention wasn't to double train depot. It's just it's been undervalued for so long. The rate hasn't been touched at $20 an hour. With staff time, how much it costs to pay for the water and the electricity, we were just losing money maintaining it.
That's a better, okay.
That's a better explanation.
All right.
And just so I know, if somebody uses a credit card, we charge a convenience fee, right? On these?
Well,
Okay, okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
That'll be citywide, correct? Thank you.
Okay, any other comments? We have a motion?
I make a motion to pass business item 3.1.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pass resolution 875-26. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No nays, motion passes. Okay, set date for Zephyr Park workshop. We did that.
Leave, yes. So the decision was for September 14th at 5 PM, which
On the
is
regular meeting.
on the regular meeting date. So just want to verify and make sure that that is still good. If
Sorry,
yes,
what time is it again?
5 PM.
Is an hour enough time? That's a lot to, yeah, I think we should meet.
We can go earlier.
4:30.
Yeah,
I'll do my
staff's here,
best.
so
Yeah,
we just got to walk downstairs.
I know.
So yeah, it's for me, it's a struggle for me to get here by 4:30. I mean, today I was able to do it and I do try to plan ahead, but if we could do it at 5 o'clock and then maybe the council meeting goes, starts 30 minutes later.
Start the council meeting at 6:30.
Yeah, I think we'll have to, yeah, that's fine.
Can we do that?
We can do,
Well, and
Or you just say it happens immediately following.
Yeah, we can.
We're talking September 14th.
Yeah, that's a public hearing. You
That's
probably
correct. And we've already
advertised
published it on the
6
trim
o'clock.
notice.
Right.
We have to start.
we've already
at 6.
advertised it for 6
Yeah.
because of the
Yeah.
trim. Okay, so.
and,
yeah, we
and you've
cannot.
already sent
I can
out
try to be.
assessment.
Okay, I can.
Things
That's part of the trim,
I'll
yeah.
make it
For
happen. I
people.
just think that we've gotten into this trend of making it earlier and earlier. And for people who still work, it's a struggle for us. So
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll try 4:30.
So have we let the Parks and Rec Board know to be here? Because they should be here at this meeting
I agree.
and present and accounted for and opinions.
Yeah, our intent is to invite them. We wanted to get through today just to
Okay.
verify the
Okay,
email that was sent to each of you, and then they'll be invited as well.
perfect.
And the contractors will be here or our consultants? or-
Yes, yep. Kimley Horn and Reeves Young will be here.
Mr. President, I move we set the park workshop for September 14th, 4:30.
second,
Okay, we have a motion and a second to set the park workshop for September 14th at 4:30 PM. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Planning Director's report.
Good evening, Council. Rodney Corvo, Plan Director. It's an exciting time to be at Zephyrhills. We're facing a lot of decisions as staff, you as the leaders in the Planning Commission. So I'd like to put it out there. We've had several council members approach us about having a joint workshop with the Planning Commission, and I'd like to open it up for a discussion.
Good idea.
I think
Thank
we
you, sir.
should do it, yeah.
When would you like to do it?
4:30 what day?
And with that, I'm very understanding that it's budget time. So perhaps maybe, I know we've got the holidays, maybe October.
Yeah.
Yeah,
October would be
That's
good.
good.
That'd be good.
Mhm.
I suggest we have our Planning Commission meetings the third Tuesday of the month. So that is on October 20th.
Mhm.
so we
That's
could
a
do it then.
possibility,
That would be
right?
good.
On a
Mhm.
Tuesday?
That's
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah, that's going to be tough for me. We can't do it on a regular meeting.
Yeah, whatever. I'm opening it up for you all.
It's
What
at
is-
night.
What is the middle?
It's
what's-
at night. Oh, Tuesday night's not good for you.
Right, what's the middle of
Depending
the
on
month?
time.
What's
6
the middle of the
o'clock.
month?
6
What's the
o'clock,
mi-
right?
6
Six.
o'clock, yes.
Yeah, usually Planning Commission meets at 6 PM on the third
Which is what?
Tuesday.
So
The
we have
20th.
meetings that month, October 12th and October 26th is when council meets.
Mhm.
And then the in-between week is Planning Commission on that Tuesday, correct?
So I suggest the 26th. Can we do the 26th?
Well, you have CRA that day and City Council, so you wouldn't be able to do that.
So then this October 12th, sounds like.
Say October 12th or November 9th.
Well, if we did it on the Planning Commission are volunteers that having them come out twice in 2 weeks. I think it'd be more appropriate for us to go out and meet them.
Yeah, if
When is
possible.
theirs?
The
Tuesday?
20th,
The
Tuesday, the
20th.
20th at 6 PM.
I'm fine with that.
I'll make it happen.
Do we have enough time for everybody to?
I'll make that work.
Okay.
Because normally I don't have that Tuesday.
Or if you need to talk about it, we have this on the,
Let's tentatively set that. and
Okay.
then we'll-
why don't we do this? And we have it on the schedule for the next agenda and we'll revisit it to reconfirm next meeting. How's
Okay,
that
all
sound?
right, yeah, talk to
Okay.
them and then,
Yeah, okay, I'll
Alright.
reach out to them.
That'd be
So
great.
right now, then you're October 20th, which is that Tuesday.
their night, right?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
All right, thank you very much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you have the sidewalk.
Yes,
progression.
we have the sidewalk and Hansel's going to give a brief introduction and then we have BGE here. So thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
We saved the best for last. So Hansel Rodriguez, project manager, planner. Today we wanted to give you guys an update on a project that we've been working on, 2 sidewalks that we have with BGE. And today we have our engineers with BGE. You guys will come on up. They're going to give you guys just the specifics about this project so that way we could remind you what's been going on with this project recently.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Phil Chang with BGE. We're the engineering, survey and transportation consultant that's working with planning, Hansel and Rodney, of course. We are working on these 2 projects, one along Wire Road and the other along Fort King. Basically, our design right now is proposed for the west side of Wire Road from County Road 54 up to Daughtery Road. It will serve as a connection between the sidewalk on County Road 54, and there is a trail on the west side of Wire Road on the north side of Daughtery. So that'll serve as a connection. One thing we have determined as part of our design is that we are going to need additional right-of-way. Part of it does run through the Duke property at the southwest corner of Daughtery and Wire Road. For the Fort King project, it basically starts a little bit north of Island Boulevard, basically at the north end of where the bank is, and it will proceed north. There is an existing sidewalk on the east, sort of the east side of Fort King, just south of Daughtery. So there will be a connection essentially from more or less Island Boulevard up to that. There will be a crossing. The trail is proposed for the west side, but there will be a crossing to connect. And then, of course, as you all know, there is a sidewalk that's next to the eastbound right turn lane. And so we're going to continue from that west limit towards basically to Simons Road and connect to the trail that's in Silver Oaks. So that'll serve as a connection basically from Island Boulevard, or complete the connection basically from Island Boulevard all the way up to Silver Oaks. We did also we are in the process of design for Fort King. We did also realize that we are also going to need right-of-way on that for the Fort King project also in order for construction to be completed. I know so not many of you know me. I do talk a lot, so I'm going to try and sort of cut this a little short, but I did want to open it up for questions. Billy's laughing, or Mr. Poe's laughing because he knows I can go on and on. So I'm going to cut it off right here and just ask if there are any questions.
Well, what is I guess I'll just start with do you need right away on the Fort King?
Yes.
Also, and that's county right away you need?
It's, so there is going to be right away that we are going to need on the sort of the east-west portion of Fort King. So we are going to need right away there.
Okay.
Just because some of the right away goes almost right up to the pavement.
Right. So we had budgeted the design of this already?
Design is,
Yeah, so we are done with the design already, and so we are about to head towards construction, but we need to look at right away as a part of this. Like he said, on both Fort King and Wire Road, we are going to have to look at right away. It's kind of tight, and it goes to some residential areas, so that is something that we're going to have to look at.
Is it public right away you're going to have to access, or you're going to have to
So-
get from the mobile home park like on the north?
so we need to take it from the property owners. The conversation, I think more importantly, is both of these are county right of way. And so the city did the design and we're really looking to request Pasco County to do the construction because it's on their right of way. And then that's a conversation that we can have. Do we partner with them? I mean, our partnership, I think, is the design. So I think as a staff, we're looking at that, but then also asked council to say, hey, Pasco, put this on the schedule and let's try to get this thing built. And maybe it is a partnership where the city does pay, a portion of the construction because it does serve our residents. They are county roads, but I will tell you that Wire Road, in my opinion, is the more important of the two because of the connection from the high school to Abbott Park. And we see kids walking up and down that road all the time. And so, that's the main reason that we did the design on both of these. So we see the same thing on Fort King because Simons Road, the sidewalk there ends at Simons and Fort King. We can make that connection. We now have a loop in that area. But again, these are county roads but we did move forward with the design to try to speed up the process.
Have you talked to the county about this currently or prior to?
We have not approached the county yet. We wanted to bring it up to council first and see what decision you wanted to make on this.
Well, I know it's been brought up to us before to approve the design, but since that time, have you talked to the county about right of way and construction?
We have had, I've had some informal discussions with the county just because I have a relationship with them. I do understand that there is, and I don't know the extent of it, but there is some funding for Wire Road. So we haven't necessarily had formal discussions, but I have had sort of, informal as I've been dealing with them outside of this project.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah, as long as it's been approached, they've been approached.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, I guess the request would be for council, like what we had with, most, recently with Cossack, is to reach out to y'all's counterparts at the county to encourage staff to, go a direction for us.
See how that works out.
So, Mr. Poe, would be helpful for us to have, in the future, would be helpful for us to have like dates and times that staff has spoken to county or that there's been, because I did reach out and they asked these questions. I didn't have the answers to the questions.
Okay.
So, okay. I think there is someone willing to help us. We just need to provide them more information. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
That's a good idea. Can I, Mr. President, just on Fort King, the one leg, what side of the road as it goes to east to west, is it going to be on the south side?
So in the section of Fort King where it's going east-west, it will be on the south side.
Okay.
So basically it'll connect where that, I always refer to it as the right turn. But basically there's a sidewalk there next to the eastbound right turn. And we basically start from there, head west, and then connect to, there's an existing trail in Zephyrhills. So that's the intended, and that's the south side of the road. So that's the intended.
And I would go all the way around. It would do a loop from Simons all the way down back to Island Road.
Be a nice
Maybe it went that way. So they're both good projects.
Yeah, they're both really good projects. And really brought up Wire Road, especially with the high school being there. We have all these kids right out of school walking up that grass. And I looked at it today. There's a little portion of there that there's maybe a foot of grass to walk on.
Yeah.
And, we're living in the future. A lot of the kids are going on scooters, e-bikes. They're not going to go on the grass. If it starts to rain, they're not going in that mud. They're going to go straight for that road.
Sure.
And all it takes is one small accident to cause something that we can never take back.
And that's probably an easier.
Right. And so this is why we wanted to approach council tonight, because even though this is a joint project with the county, we believe that the city could get this done faster. So we wanted to see maybe how you guys would like to handle this. I know with everything coming up, it can look rough in these future years, but we would like for you guys to consider this. And as well as if you would like us, like you said, to approach the county, and maybe we could do something where we reconstruct it, but we ask the county for some funding to help us out, since it is at the end of the day, a joint project.
Yeah, because you may be waiting for years.
Yeah,
Their
exactly.
budget season's the same as ours. They've already budgeted for next year. So you're not even looking at next year.
Right.
You're looking at a couple of years down the road.
And oops, go. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I would prefer us to be in control of the project, because sometimes with the county, on Geiger is a good example.
Yep.
Just language.
Still waiting. We're still
Well,
waiting.
and the other thing is if we could tie it into the roundabout that they're doing right there, maybe it could be could we connect there? I
Are
mean,
you talking about the roundabout on Island and Fort King or the
no,
hotspot? I'm
at
sorry.
At Wire Road and Pretty
Pretty
Pond.
fun. and-
Pretty fun.
yeah,
I mean,
pretty
that's
fun
in the
one.
current
Oh,
budget.
yes,
isn't it?
yes.
I mean, if we could, I don't know if that's possible. That would be a great way to get it all done at one time. All right.
But I just wanted to, someone else from BGE, Alex Holbert, a former star student of mine. And it's nice to see former students come back and participating in what we're doing. And, you know, we voted for CLA. Lance Schmidt worked for them. He was another one of my star students. I won't leave out the code enforcement specialist and the building official either. They were also former star students of mine too.
How'd that building official do?
He did good.
Okay.
He asked a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But good to see you, Alex, and thanks for being a part of this.
Okay,
All right,
thank
and,
you very much.
I just want to let you guys know we will be bringing this back next city council with some more numbers so that way you guys could get a better idea of what we're getting into. We just wanted to bring it up and see how you guys felt about the ideas and how we could plan things out a little bit better. I know, again, we touched up on budget. This originally was planned to be a 10-foot wide sidewalk. I think that's a bit overkill. We're going to go bring it down to 8. That's going to bring down construction costs with concrete. It's going to bring down tree trimming costs, as well as a bunch of other things as well, land acquisition costs as well. So we do have Florida land acquisition right now that could look into getting these pieces of property that we're going to need on this road because unfortunately there's just no space. So that's something that we wanted to see how you guys wanted to handle, and we'll bring you guys the numbers so you could make a better decision next time.
Well, and Wire Road's tricky because a lot of it's got that Zephyrhills shift over of the right of way too. But
Right.
yeah, if
And the
maybe if the
poles are
city
right.
manager or you guys could give us a little cheat sheet, then we'll call the county commissioner.
Exactly. All right, perfect. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
All right, thank you guys.
All right. Thank you very much.
So,
Jen,
just not to prolong this, but we are working with Duke and trying to get an easement in front of the substation. Thank you. Substation. And then I believe there's right of way in front of the Elks Club as well. So
Right.
there's a portion of it that we're hopefully we'll be able to get without
That's
having
a
to
good
do
chunk,
too
yeah.
much work.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Chang.
Thank you.
Okay. We're down to the
Mayor announcements.
brass tacks here. Mayor, do you have any announcements?
I have a favor to ask. I don't know if you guys have already been approached about the stormwater assessment from residents that got in their mail the other day. So I'm hoping that we can get like some verbiage, so we are all talking and saying the same type of things to our residents, the things that have already been approached to me just this last weekend was, is this $85 going to be every year? Is it going to go up to be more? How come everything we do, you know, everything we've been voting on for the last 2 weeks is to increase things.
We didn't
and-
raise taxes.
We didn't raise taxes, but listen,
We reduced it.
but everything that we voted on in the you have to recognize
the
it's
same.
been an increase.
Yeah,
So,
we can give you the study that's there. So quickly, yes, it is a yearly fee. It's $85 first year, and then it is stair steps from there. I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but we do have a 5-year plan
Right.
of it stair stepping up, so we can give you a copy
Right.
of that plan again.
and basically, you know, I know just telling people that, well, we've never had a you know, stormwater assessment before. There's got to be reasonings, you know, I mean, they want to hear some strong, so maybe if we can have some bullet points to help
So,
us, so we're
pictures
telling
of
them
Mhm.
correctly,
Yeah.
right?
Say Milton.
Yeah.
Examples
and I
of the,
get it.
examples
We
of the
get
kind
that.
of projects we're going to do, you know, that sort of
Mhm.
thing. I
Yeah.
think we know
Yeah,
that,
talk
but
about the
Yeah.
projects and the
Yeah,
areas
and
that
what
we're
it
in.
will help
So you
to
need
fund,
we need another cheat sheet.
just a cheat sheet.
So
to
I think
help.
we could tell people to vote no on Amendment 3. We might be able to reduce the stormwater fee.
Yeah, we can't do that. We,
Sorry, that's,
we could tell them, but
Ignore
that's
him.
not going to happen. It is what it is. But that's what I just want to recognize that if you guys haven't been approached yet, go out and walk your dog in the morning.
I've been
Go
approached
to Walmart.
many times.
Yeah. And
At my
I
shop.
just was hoping that we could all be kind of
I've
saying
lost customers over.
what we need to say. And then one other thing, with that accident that took out lift station 13, that was in the consent, we're trying to get that back from the person that hit it. Okay.
that goes to our insurance provider and they're going after, they'll try to get with the insured. We'll see how successful we are on that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Mayor. City, who goes next? City manager?
City manager, I just have two. I want to congratulate Will on his promotion to principal planner. And then also congratulations to Chief and the police department for the reaccreditation that occurred last week. Official ceremony is not till the end of October, but congratulations to the PD and that reaccreditation.
And that was with no comments, right? That was a totally clean.
100%.
100%.
Correct.
And that's a very small percentage of police,
Yes.
police departments that
Well
get
done.
that honor.
Right.
Yeah.
Well done. City attorney,
No announcements.
Councilwoman Wilson,
Nothing for me this evening.
Mr. Proctor.
Well, I'd just like to say one thing, and this is to all the employees. Everybody up here wants to take care of the employees. And we're doing the best we can as far as raises and such. And I feel that with what's coming down the pike for us all, we're going to have to deal with it. And I hope you all understand, we do the best we can to give you the most we can. And there's not a person up here that doesn't care. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
Oh.
Councilman Smith?
Councilman Smith?
Oh, okay. You don't have nothing?
I haven't got to him
Okay,
yet.
you got me all mixed up. A couple things. I guess the state, the one thing we had with the state, we had to do the permitting quicker.
Mhm.
So the state's going to tell us how to do the permitting. They're going to tell us
How much
what
you can-
zoning we can do, okay? They're going to tell us how much our building department can charge.
Mhm.
So, you know what?
And how
I
much
think,
property tax? we
and how
just-
much property tax. That's what I'm wondering. Are we needed anymore, really?
I said a couple of weeks ago, let them come see.
Maybe so. I don't
So
know.
maybe we mention that to them on Thursday when we're there.
You know, I woke up real early this morning and I was going online and I was thinking about wasteful spending. And I just happened to Google alligator Alcatraz and I just asked you to do that. That was a $1.2 billion boondoggle that we still owe 500 million on. It's closed down. And, they're worried about us
Exactly.
wasting money.
And the state, approved by the legislature, has approved grants for, what are those things called we looked at that we were talking about? The centers,
Oh, yeah, data center.
data centers. The state has been giving funding, grants to companies to build data centers in Florida.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I mean, I pretty much pretty quick, we're going to not be up here, guys. So, the state's going to take over and I wish you well, guys. I really do.
Yeah.
'Cause they can spend some money. Chelsea Rose, congrats on coming to the planning commission. We're glad to have you on here. Rodney, we have a great planning staff. So, and look, guys, the rest of the staff, we would love to give as much raise as we can because I think y'all do a good job, but it's going to get really bad if this passes. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Burgess?
Congratulations, Will. Congratulations, Chelsea, too. I'm glad you accepted the chance to do that. And Chief, on the accreditation thing, is there going to be another ceremony like the last time, or, because that was pretty neat to attend. That was kind of cool. So congratulations to you too. That's all I have.
Make sure we're invited, okay?
Mhm.
I have nothing, so meeting adjourned.
Yeah. I was gonna take that salad home, but I got a bellyache now.
Me? Yeah. I just logged in. No, I turned it off. Can't I do it at home and with it?
No, I've got a,
Oh,
well, you, no, you can't.
all right. Sorry.
Sorry.
What do you need to? Mine away? Mine away?
No, I'll do it on. Oh, yeah, no, it's up. I'll have you type it in.
Okay.